Cool. What is up, everybody? Total of Jake and Shug. What's up, guys? Glad that you guys are here. We have my friend Jordan. Man, are you my first sub for the
No, I
channel?
wasn't. You like to say like you often call me a day oneer, but I was probably the first 100 or so.
Oh,
The
okay.
first, I remember the first video that I ever saw of yours was a Crown Zenith video.
Oh, okay.
So I think from what I understand, you were opening like earlier than that in the Sword and
Uh,
Shield era.
yeah. Just a little bit, but yeah, dude. I'm okay. Well, you're gonna get the title of the day of the first subscriber, but yeah. So everybody, to everyone that watches back on this, my homie Jordan, kind of introduce yourself really quick and yeah, let them know.
Yeah, so I am originally from the UK, and then I moved to Taiwan around about 13, sorry, not 30, around about 13 years ago. I moved to Taiwan. And then shortly after I moved to Taiwan, I started to collect English Pokemon cards again around about XY base set. And then I've been here in Taiwan since the relaunch, that's the key word, the relaunch of traditional Chinese cards in the Sun and Moon era, and then the actual launch of simplified Chinese cards when they came around.
Oh, cool. And your majority, it kind of sounds like you're everything, right? Do you collect almost all
So
Asian
I'm
languages, or?
no, actually not. So primarily I collect English. That's like my main focus, but I'll collect traditional Chinese and simplified Chinese
Mm,
for the big cards or the exclusive cards, or like when something's going crazy in English, then I'll avoid that and I'll just buy it in
yeah.
Chinese. Like all of the big old arts, like the Giratina, Lugia, Moonbryon, Sunbryon, whatever, I typically pick them up in Chinese. And then like I've got my kind of collecting goals in English,
hmm
which is geared towards specific collections now at this point. So I've got a
Okay.
few specific collections that I like, and I'll get them in English, usually in PSAs.
How's
So
that? How
mm,
are you? Do you invest into Pokemon as well, or is it just collecting?
no, it's pretty much just collecting. I know like the typical thing that people say is if you collect, then you invest,
Yeah.
which yeah, it is true. I mean,
Yeah.
like almost all of my cards have appreciated in value over the years.
Yeah.
But primarily my main focus is collecting. Like, believe it or not, I don't own a single English booster box. So
Dang.
it's hard to call myself an investor when I don't own a single English booster box.
Yeah. I think the term investing can just be spread, so thin. But
Yeah.
actually, me and Eric both picked up the mega. We were able to grab the mega booster box this morning. Shout out
A
to
mega booster box?
yeah,
Oh, did they do the Pokemon Center drop?
yeah, they did.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Nice.
Shout out
Nice.
to Jodo Jake in the chat, and Team Rocket Joey sent me the link to like all of the product that was available. We got in within like an hour, which is
Nice.
pretty
Nice.
cool. So I'm
Yeah.
very excited for the mega stuff. How are you
Yeah,
feeling
I'm
about?
def No, I like Mega. Mega is probably my favorite like gimmick. It's the first
Yeah.
gimmick that they did. I think it's the best. I mean, it
Yeah.
depends. In terms of the games, the video games, I
Okay.
think the Mega gimmick is the best. In terms of like the TCG gimmicks, maybe tag teams might be better, but
Mm.
in the
Yeah.
games, yeah.
Have you heard Eric and I's predictions for Gen 10 for the gimmicks?
The
I
nunchucks with the Dragonite.
yeah. It would I think that weapons is completely on the table. I could totally see Pokemon doing some real dumb stuff like that, but I think with the popularity of the tag teams in a sense of a collective attack where the attacks are, but maybe, ghost electric or ghost,
Oh, yeah.
something like that. I think that is in the realm. Now, what I would want was the fusion, because I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. So maybe get to fuse two Pokemon at the same time. That's kind of where I would be. Is there any gimmicks that you would like predict
Oh my
maybe
God.
for Generation 10, or maybe
I
that
have
you've
no
been thinking
idea
of?
because I think so I'm still it's kind of cliche, and I think everybody's over it by now. But I really still to this day dislike the Gen 9 gimmick. I think it's the
The worst.
stupidest thing that they ever did.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. After that, the Terror Crowns. I
Yeah.
think it's impossible to predict what's happening next.
Yeah, I kind of like the Terra crown or just the Trestle Fest or just the Pokemon in general, like the gimmick. I think it works with some Pokemon, but
Yeah.
some Pokemon just looks goofy, you know.
Mm.
So, but you played Scarlet Violet, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
actually, here's the thing about myself is that uh, I never got out of the Pokemon video games since Gen
Dang.
1 through to Gen 9. Like I've played every game. Other than Red and
Holy.
Blue. Red and Blue was like maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 months after they came out. But
Hmm.
like from Yellow all the way through to Gen 9, I've played pretty much every game on release date.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I got out of the TCG uh, pretty early. I think Rocket was basically the last set. So anything between uh, what came out after Rocket, probably Gym Heroes, I guess.
Hmm.
Like anything between Gym Heroes and then Black and White, I didn't collect at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And still to this day, I don't go back and pick up any of those cards. I know there's a lot of amazing cards
Hmm.
within those eras, but my kind of idea is that you cannot own everything. So like
Yeah.
those cards, I just let it go. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of amazing out there, but it's
Yeah.
not for me. I can't have everything. So like that block, I'm just going to like completely put it to the side.
Do you have any interest of like looking back, even though like we're in
Oh,
a
I look back all the time. So
oh, okay. Okay.
yeah,
So
I look back and I look at the cards and I think they are amazing. Like
yeah.
all, especially those Gym Challenge, Gym Heroes eras.
Oh
Like
yeah.
yeah, they're beautiful cards. But
Hmm.
like really, I cannot. That's the thing
Yeah.
with Pokemon. Everybody's always trying to catch up. And for me, I'm just like that era. I missed out on it, and I'm not even going to try to catch up.
I think that's a very smart way to go about the Pokemon hobby is just to be like, I missed it, I'm out. For me,
Mm,
it's like I'm going back because in English here, I don't know how it is. We'll get into like how English product is where you're at right now, but here in the United States, it is a mess, an absolute mess. So like I picked up this Sandstorm,
yeah,
Typhlosion. I mean, I didn't even know this like, art existed. You know what I
I
mean?
didn't either. Actually, when you sorry to cut you off, you showed
I don't
that
know.
like in your video with Jake a couple of
Yeah,
days ago. I was watching the video. I was like, "That's a nice card." I actually went back and looked it up where it
yeah,
came from. It came from like a Ruby Sapphire
yeah,
like
yeah,
set, one of those EX sets. I was like,
yeah.
"That's a nice card." And then I was looking at all of those EX cards, those secret rares from that era. I was like, "Oh man, they are really nice," but
Yeah, yeah. So
not for me.
yeah, so I've just been like going back and just picking up. It's like ultra modern. It's gonna be here for quite some time. Are you majority right now looking at ultra modern, or
Yeah.
what would you consider ultra modern? Would you say Sun and Moon as well?
I wouldn't say I would say Sun and Moon is probably modern, and then ultra modern. I would probably say Sword and Shield.
Okay,
That's my take. I think
that's
it's
fair.
all based on interpretation, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, that's completely fair. But yeah, so I got some questions too for you on from the YouTube comments. But
Okay.
first one was by the Guru. He'll probably be in here later, but he said, I think a big part of what's going on is that as far as like because this is just for my last Japanese video. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, there's something strange going on in the Japanese market where these boxes just aren't going down. We're kind of seeing them hold pretty well. I have a
Yeah.
couple friends that live in Japan. I have a friends that are out visiting right now, and so this was a kind of an interesting take. I kind of want to hear your thoughts. So he said, I think a big part of what's going on is that Japan is printing less Japanese cards because they're printing Chinese and Indonesian cards in Japan too. Is that
Ooh,
true? Is that
it's a good take. I
good
don't
take?
think it's true. I don't think it's true.
Okay.
So the fact that they are printing Indonesian and Chinese cards in Japan is true. So Japan prints Indonesian, traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, and Thai, as well as
Mm,
Japanese. So Japan is printing for 5 different countries.
holy.
Um, yeah. So it is true. But when Japan moved into the simplified Chinese market, when they moved into China, they expanded their printing facility like immensely
Okay.
to like meet the demands of China. And I don't really buy into that because uh, currently Chinese simplified Chinese cards they are popping up with the gem sets. But I don't think the gem sets are more popular than, for example, Nine Colors Gathering. I think there were way more people in the Western world, opening 9 colors gathering, then the gem sets in search of the moon beyond. It was like the last chance to get the moon beyond. And at that time, if you remember, when they were printing 9 colors gathering, I think you've got like a couple of sets behind you there.
Yep. Oh yeah, those. Or are you talking about these right
the
here?
ED ones? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when they were printing that set, like everybody in China was opening it, and then a ton of people, like a ton of Western PokeTubers, were also opening it, searching for the YouTube and doing box breaks and those kind of things. So I don't really buy into it, because at that specific time they printed so much 9 colors gathering, and at the same time Japanese was on flash sale. Like you could get any booster box you wanted for like $30, even less with the TikTok coupons and everything.
Oh yeah, yep.
I don't really buy into the idea that the current Japanese market is because they're printing Chinese. They expanded the facility immensely, and I think it all comes down to the English market. Like when they got to maybe Twilight Masquerade, and then they changed the hit rates, they lowered the printing quantity or whatever in English. It just made the English market boom. Like for some reason, people like low print runs, and they like low pull rates. That caused like the prices of the English booster boxes to go crazy. And I think like Twilight Masquerade was like the trigger, and then obviously with Surging Sparks and everything that's come after that, it's just gone crazy. So that pulls up every market. It pulls up the Chinese market, pulls up the Japanese market, pulls up everything with it. So that's basically my take. I don't think it's down to specifically the Chinese cards taken away from Japanese print runs.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was telling people, I'm like, I still have my Korean sites that I buy from, and they're still really available, Sword and Shield era stuff. But the Scarlet and Violet stuff, like Destined Rivals, it's like $60. Like I've been paying $20 for the entire time, and now it's 3 times the price. Like I'm not paying.
I don't know much about Korean cards, but I can guarantee. I can't guarantee. I can almost guarantee that. I don't want to make any kind of false assumptions. I can almost guarantee that in Korea, Destined Rivals is probably like at regular retail price.
I wonder how much. I wonder how much that is.
I wonder as well, because
like
you're getting
$10.
those Korean Sword and Shield, right? Like I remember you pulling like EVA Heroes Korean packs every week in search of the moon beyond. You're like, yeah, I bought this for $25.
Yep.
If you bought that for $25, what's the retail price?
Probably, yeah. So me and my girl, we're going to Japan in October or November, and then we're gonna take the ferry over to Korea, and I'm gonna just come back with so much Korean product. I hope, kind of on the side topic, but I hope that the Korean market comes to, or it just becomes a little bit more popular. I mean, you kind of seen the rise of that Ditto card was pretty cool from that event. I think that was super beautiful. One of the comments too, they were like, why doesn't I was just responding to comments right before this live, but someone was saying is like, why doesn't Korean do more what you say? It's just like more one-of-one cards, kind of like what Chinese is doing. I wonder why they're just a little bit behind. It seems.
I have a theory.
It's
a complete guess. Okay. So do you remember when we first started talking, and I told you that I predict that Japan is going to take over the Korean printing?
Yeah. I reported on that too.
It obviously hasn't happened, but my idea behind that was they took over traditional Chinese, they took over Thai, they took over Indonesian, and then they started Simplified Chinese. So they basically took control of the Asian market. Now, this is my assumption. I don't know for sure, but I know that Pokemon doesn't print Korean cards themselves. I believe that they outsource it to a third party, like they used to do with traditional Chinese cards. So what they used to do with traditional Chinese cards before the Sun and Moon era was they had a company in Taiwan who they licensed out the rights to print Chinese Pokemon cards, and then they basically did whatever they wanted to do with them. They just like took the official artwork from Creatures or whoever creates that, the Pokemon company, and then they basically printed them in Taiwan, and it was like a much lower quality print. even like Korean is a decent quality, but people say like, oh, Korean doesn't match Japanese. But it was like,
Yeah,
especially like comparing it to Sword and Shield Korean, like it wasn't
it was
even like at
bad.
that level. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
But
bad.
I
The
mean
cards
like
would
the
stick
old,
together too. It was
right.
like not good.
So the old traditional Chinese cards, they were even like below that level
Ooh.
of printing, right? So I guess that they have outsourced the rights to print Pokemon cards to a Korean company. And I think because of that reason, they don't have the ability to make any exclusive cards. Whereas
Mm,
the Japanese side, Chinese side, sorry, that's being controlled by Japan, and they're trying to like push it hard to increase
mm.
interest in China. So that's why they're doing a lot of exclusive Chinese cards, because they're taking the full profit of the Chinese market. Whereas the
Holy.
Korean side, they're outsourcing it for a fee, I guess. I guess they're outsourcing it, they're getting a fee or a percentage of sales. So for them, it's probably not like um, a high like
Profit, yeah. Yeah, that's
profit.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
it's just a guess. That's my theory. So
Yeah.
remember when we first started talking, I didn't really get into detail with it, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said that I
yeah.
think that Japan is going to take control of Korea.
Yeah.
My whole idea behind that is that Korea doesn't stop printing the hot sets, whereas
Oh,
Japan
shit.
does. Like if you look at Japan, they'll do like maybe 3 print runs of a hot set. Like EV Heroes, it had 3 print runs in Japanese. Korean must have had like 10 print runs. Like they never
Yeah.
stopped the printers. And I honestly think, complete speculation, I honestly think that Japan probably doesn't like that, because it's taken like people, they like the hot sets. So if the hot set is EV Heroes and the last chance to buy EV Heroes is in Korean, and Korean just doesn't stop
Yeah.
printing EV Heroes, and people are going to go and buy the EV Heroes again and again and again, and then they're going to be spending less money on the Japanese sets or the English sets or whatever.
Yeah.
So my theory is that if they have outsourced like the Korean rights to somebody else, I still have this theory. Maybe they have like a 5-year deal, a 10-year deal, whatever the deal is. Like my theory is that after they've basically taken the Thai market, the Indonesian, the traditional Chinese, the simplified, my theory is that Korean will be next just whenever that deal ends. And I have no idea when that deal is going to end, if there is actually a deal. But that's
Yeah.
basically my speculation.
I love that theory. We put our tin foil hats on.
Yeah.
But so are you telling people to buy Korean cards right now? Korean cards
I
undervalued
would
right
say
now?
buy Korean. Korean is the cheapest option right now if you want sealed. It's like
Yeah.
cheaper than simplified Chinese for sealed
Hmm.
products.
Yeah.
So if right now, if you enjoy ripping, if that's your thing, like if you like ripping and you like the pack opening experience, then for me, like I would definitely not recommend opening English right now.
No.
And even Japanese right now, I think like people go crazy and say, "Oh, Japanese is so cheap. It's $100 for a booster box,
No,
$70 for a booster box, or whatever." But no,
it's
that's
expensive.
definitely not cheap. That's double. Like when you consider it, the like percentage of increase on Japanese right now is higher than the percentage in English.
Yeah.
Like an English booster box is what, $160 and sells
Yep.
for 200 and something.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yep.
Japanese, it's like $25, $30 and selling for 70, 80, maybe even $100 when the set
Yeah.
first comes out.
Yeah, Glory of Team Rocket's still pushing over $100, holding
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
strong. That's why
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of that's I think that Japanese market as well is being held up by a lot of English collectors and people that want to go to the cheaper option where it's not necessarily the cheaper option
Yeah.
anymore. I mean, you watch pretty much all my videos, but all my opening videos, like I was
Yeah.
opening
Oh, I
Japanese
know.
booster boxes like a madman, like
Right.
$25,
Here's the
$30.
thing about that as well. The crazy thing about that, when you kept opening those packs, the shiny treasure in search of the bubble mew, you were spending $25 a pack, a box
Yeah.
on shiny treasures, and you're like,
Yep.
I'm not stopping until I pull the bubble mew. I remember one day I left a comment and I said, the bubble mew is $60 in Japanese. Just buy the damn card, and you're like,
Oh man, I should have
you
done it.
responded, I think I'm going to open one more box and then I'll buy it. And then the English version took up, and then the Japanese followed.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. One of my biggest regrets. I thought like it was one of my favorite sets to open. Yeah, I still have a crap ton of Shiny Treasures EX, but once it seemed like overnight it just like 2x. And I was like,
Yeah,
I
it
can't
did.
open it.
It was like
Yeah.
an overnight thing.
Yeah. Same thing with VStar Universe. So Eric's in the chat right now. He got me a VStar Universe for my birthday, and he's like, hey, come over and rip it. I'll come over, we'll rip it, we'll rip some packs or whatever, some Japanese product. And then we checked the price, and just like that, it was 3x. Where I was like, dude,
Yeah,
we can't open VStar Universe anymore. That's just like
right.
not smart.
The
Um,
yeah,
yeah, it's so nuts how, like you said, the English market and a lot of people, I wish more Poke tubers do more deep dives like this, like into how it affects all the markets, because it really does. It really
yeah,
does affect, a lot of us that just want to collect cheap Pokemon cards. What's your how's your do you have a PC for the most part?
yeah.
Or
I do. So my PC is so from the XY era.
Mhm.
I was pretty much just going to a stationery store in Taiwan, and I graduated university like at the end of the black and white era, and I came straight to Taiwan, and it was like my first job, like adult job with adult money,
Mhm.
and I was teaching grade 1 and 2 at the time, and I went to a stationery store to like buy teaching supplies, and I saw XY basic packs in there,
Dang.
and they were like way cheap. I'm talking like in Taiwan after import, after shipping, import
Yeah.
expenses, and after everything else, they must have been like $3 a pack or something, right? So I would like pick up 10 packs at a time or something, and
Mhm.
then just rip them. And the reason I bought them at that time was to give the cards to my students as like rewards.
Nice.
Yeah. So I that was like my like reintroduction to the hobby, and it stayed pretty much like that. With the and I would keep the hits, of course.
Yeah.
But that was basically my reintroduction to Pokemon card collecting, and it just stayed like that until I want to say until like around about Cosmic Eclipse maybe. And then when Cosmic Eclipse came out, and around that time was when like PokeTubing got really big, and then everybody started to talk about the price of cards and like, look at this card, it's amazing. And that's when I started to buy singles,
Mm,
because basically the content is like you watch the content and it just increases your appetite compared
yeah,
to
for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it goes like slippery slope.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So that's like when I really like started collecting and buying singles and like paying like whatever $30 for a card or whatever, like a single card. Whereas before that, it was just opening packs. So
Yeah.
for my personal collection, I kind of got a few different pockets. So primarily, what I would call myself is a red collector, like the
Mhm.
trainer red.
Oh,
So
cool.
pretty much any card that features red, then I get it in a PSA 10, and that's like my thing. So, uh, like the Reg challenge from Unified Minds, I think it is.
Mhm.
And then there's like the red and blue from Cosmic Eclipse. Uh, then there's and if there's a card that's not out in English, then I'll get it in Japanese or Chinese in the PSA 10. So I've got one like right here, like this one, for example.
Woo. Love that
So
card, dude.
that's yeah, me too.
So
So
good.
pretty much like any so that one's the simplified Chinese. It's actually a competition trophy card. Like we'll get
Oh,
into
sick.
that a little bit later, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like any card featuring red, like if it's in English, then I get the English in the PSA 10, and if it's not in English, then I'll go for the Chinese or the Japanese in the PSA 10.
Nice.
That's like my like first collection goal. Like I would say I'm a red collector. And then second is so people are gonna cringe at this. I hate to say that word, but they are. Like I really like the Sun and Moon games.
Mhm.
And then inside Sun and Moon, Lily is like a has a really good story arc. Like you can listen to Opossum but talk about this. He
Oh,
talks about
yeah.
it
Oh,
like
yeah.
all the time. Like in the Sun and Moon games, Lily has. If you played the Sun and Moon game, she has like a really good storyline. It's not for any like perverted weird reasons or anything, but
Yeah.
I collect all the Lily cards, not graded though, just like singles. Like and I get them in whatever's the cheapest language. So like the base set Lily, for example, from Sun and Moon, I've got that in English, and then like most of the others are in Chinese because it's just the cheapest option. So, and then the other one is N. So I collect all the N cards ungraded. Yeah. So and then one more is the friends cards. So it's like
Oh yeah, love those
friends in
too.
Gala, friends in Alola, whatever. So I collect all of those in, again, that's like on level with the um like with the red. Like I'll pick them all up in English in PSA 10s because they're so cheap. Like it's like most of those cards are like $50 or less in the PSA 10. And my thing is I really like to collect like the playable characters from the video games. I like to collect their cards. So like the friends cards, they have like all of the basically like the main cast. Yeah, I love that card.
Yeah,
That's like my
one of my subscribers gifted me this one not too
yeah.
long ago. So shout out to my homie Jace.
Yeah, is that one's really beautiful. Like
I
a
love
lot
that
of the
card
friends cards, they really overslept on, I think,
for
in any
sure.
language. They feature like the main cast of every video game, like the five like most pushed
Popular. Yeah.
characters in the video games, and then they put them all in one art, and like for me, that's great. Like
Yeah,
I have
I
the
know.
connection to the playable characters.
Yeah, I never understood why those cards were so slept on. Just like you said,
Yeah,
that's a great point. Like I always thought those were going to be one of the most expensive trainer cards because you're like,
yeah,
you get all of them. Why
yeah.
wouldn't they be super expensive? But I wonder. I mean, I'm sure they're popping off. Some of them, of course, are in Japanese because just the
Yeah.
Japanese market. But
Actually, even the Japanese, sorry to cut you off, even the Japanese on all of those cards, it's only the Friends in Alola, which had
Mhm.
like the very limited run set in a print run in like a master battle set. It was called. It's like when it came out during the Sun and Moon era, nobody was collecting Japanese, and it was only like 100. Sorry, the box was like $100, so not many people bought it.
Mhm.
But like even like the Friends in Gala that you just had in your hand, that's
Oh
cheap
yeah.
in Japanese. Like I don't understand why. Like all those Friends cards, even in Japanese, they're very cheap. In Japanese usually go crazy for the
For
trainers.
trainers, yeah. I don't know how it is where you're at, but when I went to Japan, it seemed like it was very player heavy. It's like I was telling Jake on our last little sit down, but it was so interesting to see the infatuation for the game, and it was really really refreshing. So I wonder
Yeah.
maybe that's like a an area where a lot of people don't talk about as far as like that's why they have more connection to the trainers because they're playing with the
Oh yeah,
trainers
yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit
Maybe,
more.
maybe.
Could that maybe be it, or how's what?
Probably. I think the other thing is that in Japan, the actual video games are still hugely popular for adults.
Mm,
Whereas in the Western world, it's mostly like only kids that play the video games, I think.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah. So like I think with the trainers, a lot of the adults like they don't even know who they actually are. So like even yourself, like you'll admit, like you have been going back and like catching up the video games, but initially I listen to all your podcasts, so I kind of know you inside out.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
like initially your cutoff point was like Gen 3, right, with the video
yeah,
games. And then
yeah.
you picked back up recently with Black and White and then started
Hmm.
to go back and play
Yep.
the games. And I remember like the early days of your channel, you would say like in the podcast, like Eric would say, and you're like, yeah, sorry, I didn't play the games. Like, sorry, but I don't know who that character is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like people in your comments would like always like, I remember would, like say, you don't know who this is, and you'd be like, sorry,
yeah, yeah,
man, I didn't play the video games yet. Like,
yeah,
I missed out. Yeah.
yeah.
So I think like you are not like a lone person. Like you're the majority. Like the
Hmm.
majority of people who collects the cards, they didn't play the video games. They don't have any intention of going back and playing the game, so they probably don't know who most
Yeah,
of the characters even are.
yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I had I love Eric, and that's one of the reasons why I brought him onto the podcast was because I don't really know a lot of that era that I missed. So I'm like, why wouldn't I, bring someone that's more knowledgeable in that sense? But
Eric's the
yeah,
best.
yeah, oh yeah, Eric's great. Yeah.
I
We had
just
a good.
noticed Team Rocket Joey is in the chat.
Oh yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
Joe.
he's the best.
Yeah, Joey's the man. He's been great. He's been super supportive, dude. His last video, he straight up just put my channel banner like for like go follow my boy. So like, dude, he's been pushing me. I'm so grateful. The what I'm trying to do with this channel, I mean, you've probably seen I've been really pumping out content
Yeah,
lately. I've been so inspired, and I wanted to do stuff like this with you to
yeah.
just to meet other people online, more lives and more like I think the space is missing just a good conversation back and forth. Like I
Mm,
get the comments all the time, like, dude, please do more lives, please do more conversations. And I think I mean, starting off with you, I think this is like such a just mind-opening experience for so many people, dude. Like, I talk about you on end on all that. I was like, dude, my boy Jordan, my boy Jordan, my boy Jordan. Like, you are so, valuable to this channel. And there's a comment right here. I've actually, it's like just pulled up right here on my phone, but it said, this guy D Money 224 Ball and said, started buying Chinese and Japanese cards lately because of your recommendations. Thanks, Henry. And I responded, I'm like, that wasn't from me. That was from Jordan. Like, when those early podcasts, when you sent me and Eric that Christmas box, and you're like, I forget how the message went, but you're like, let me change your mind on Chinese cards. I think it was something like that. And I was like, dude, I'm all for that. Send them my way. And when we were opening those for the chat, I was like, there's no difference. Like, I'm not a player. I'm not going to play those cards, but I just want the art, And I think that's a missing factor in a lot of even just people's personal collections, is just collecting the most affordable options. Kind of just like you said, how with your red collection, you're just trying to collect the most affordable option.
Yeah. So there's a funny thing about that, actually. Like when I first put you onto traditional Chinese cards, because at the time Simplified Chinese wasn't even out yet.
Yeah.
The thing that I remember you saying was like, you really want to get into Japanese, but it's so expensive. Because at that time it was the Sword and Shield era, and like it was like the mid Sword and Shield era when Japanese started to go crazy. And I remember I commented, I was like, you should try traditional Chinese. It's got the same print quality as Japanese. It's printed in Japan. This was the funny part. You said, I don't know about Japanese Chinese cards. I don't really like the text on them.
Yeah.
It's like, I like the text on the Japanese more.
Yeah.
So you're not alone. And like, I hear that all the time. People say they like the Japanese text, but they don't like the Chinese text. Here's the funny thing about that. Traditional Chinese characters are used in Japanese, and they're all over Japanese cards.
Yep.
So Japan has like its own. I can't speak any Japanese at all, so I don't know the names for it. It might be like hiragana or something like that.
Hiragana and oh my god, I'm learning Japanese right now, 2 hours a day. But yeah.
So I guess the Japanese Pokemon cards, they do have the hiragana, but they also have kanji. And then kanji is traditional Chinese characters.
It's traditional Chinese characters.
It's funny every time somebody says like, I don't know about Chinese cards. Like,
but what it is it's the rounded kanji is what I don't like. I like how Japanese is like more sharp. We're like, does that make sense?
It completely makes sense. Yeah. And then the thing with Korean as well. You've got your whole thing like, I like Korean cards for certain Pokemon. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. It makes me sound nuts.
It does.
Because I'm like,
I remember thinking like, what the heck?
Because like in my mind, Lugia speaks Korean. And there's some Pokemon I want in English and just looks right. Charizard looks right in English. It feels like a more American to me, like in a more American. I don't know. I'm crazy. This is the mind of me going into why I want to buy certain cards. Sometimes it has to do with the value, but it is the way the card is like written out. But again, I'm right now I'm just trying to get the most affordable option. How did you watch the video with me and Jake all the way through?
Yeah, I watched it all the way through.
What do you think about the trade for the trade that I did?
I think it's a good trade.
I think so too.
Here's the thing about that card is like right now it is going down.
Yeah.
It is continuing to go down, but I think long term, like the effect, like the after effects of the Moonbjorn is going to be there. And here's the thing with those Japanese specialty sets. If you look back at them, VMAX, Climax, Shiny Star V, what's the
V-Star Universe?
What V-Star Universe? That's what I was thinking about. The prices crash because they typically do like 3, 4, sometimes 5 print runs. But the cards in those sets are like so iconic that they always eventually slowly like increase in value. So who knows if they're going to even do another Terrestrial Festival print run? Like they're trying to catch up with everything now, like they might do. I definitely think that there's more Prismatic Evolutions print runs coming. Like there's going to be
100%.
several more print runs of prismatic evolution, but I don't know how many. Like I would guess probably one more print run of terrestrial festival, like a complete guess. And
You're getting
I think like when you look traditionally back at Shiny Star V, VMAX Climax, what is the one you just said again? V Star
V
Universe.
Star
Yeah.
Universe.
Like when you look back at them, usually they don't go for more than a year. And it's like what, July now? So between July and December, maybe one more print run, and then I think it'll be done in Japanese.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
but
mean,
the Japanese print runs usually they don't do the 2-year print runs like English does. When you
yeah.
look back at the Japanese, it's usually like 1-year print runs, and they do multiple print runs throughout the year. But especially like the first 6 months after a set releases, they'll do multiple print runs. But then after that 6 months,
Yeah.
yeah, then it starts to.
What do you know? Do you have any insight or any ideas of what was the difference between that paradigm trigger and like Lost Abyss randomly? Was that more of like a reprint or like a restock that we saw like what was it, maybe a year ago?
Oh, in Japanese?
Yeah, in Japanese. It was
Yeah,
it came out
that
of
was
nowhere.
that was another print run. They did like another, yeah, like the final 2 regular Sword and Shield sets. They just reprinted them again.
But I thought that was like way past the
Yeah,
reprint
that was
window.
way past. It was actually, but I don't think it was 2 years. I don't think it was. Oh yeah, you're right. That was more than a
No,
year.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was so that's why that was the one that I had your similar theory, right?
And
Of
yeah,
Japanese printing for a straight year, but then after that I was like, okay, well, they could print whenever
yeah,
they
that's
really
true.
want and
It is true. They can and they will.
it will, yeah.
But I think like if you look back at the sets that they have reprinted so far, other than those 2, I don't think I can. Other than the specialty sets, like this,
Mhm.
even the specialty sets will usually get printed like multiple times in the first year.
Yeah.
But I think with the over sets, it's usually typically only like 3 print runs.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, Team Rocket Joey's in the chat. You know his favorite set is Prismatic Evolution, so
Yeah.
him hearing that Terrestrial Festival is right around the corner from not being printed. It's do you have any ideas of where do you see the Japanese reprint window? Like how do you think it's gonna play out for the next end to Black Bolt White Flare? Do you have any thoughts on that?
You mean like reprints
Yeah. Like
yeah.
reprints. Do you have any speculations?
Uh, complete speculation.
Complete speculation.
I have to emphasize that.
Yeah.
I would guess. I would guess probably they're going to do a lot more Heat Wave Arena,
Mhm.
Battle Partners, and Glory of Team Rocket, and then Black and White. Basically anything from which was the first of those to release. Battle Partners, I think.
Battle partners. Yep.
Yeah. So I think anything from Battle Partners on will be reprinted.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and
It's
then Terrestrial Festival as well.
yeah.
Should get another print run. But other than
We
that, sorry, I keep cutting
Oh,
you off.
no, you're good.
Uh,
Those print runs are long, right?
yeah.
From we still have some time to
Oh
buy.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
But I think other than those sets, I don't think they're going to go much back because right now those are the hot sets. And I think they're going to print the hell out of them. And then, like I said, I think one more Terrestrial Festival reprint.
And when those
Maybe
reprints
they'll
come,
come
are
out and
they
do
big?
5. They might do another 5
I
Terrestrial
hope.
reprint.
I
Yeah,
hope.
that would be good.
And when they do these, like what? So for all the audience here, that's not really you guys don't hear this reprint stuff in Japanese as much. How big are these reprints? Would you say?
I have no idea.
You
I
don't know?
don't live in Japan, so yeah, I'm
Oh,
not sure.
okay. I just thought because you're more tapped into the Japanese market
Yeah,
than I.
I don't know how big the print runs are.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
really
Speculating,
don't.
guys. Just just speculating.
But from like watching Pokey and E, like the print runs are usually pretty damn big. Like he talks about you watching yourself,
Oh
like
yeah,
Pokey and E.
I love
He's like,
Brian.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I just started $100,000 worth of whatever, and it's like a drop in the water or whatever.
Oh yeah. I I don't know what it's gonna take though to get some of these. I mean, even starting with the Trastel, what it's gonna get to get these prices down. It just seems like they're just holding so strong.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe we see them come back to like the 40 almost MSRP esque price or?
It all depends on Terrestrial Festival completely.
Okay.
So wait. Terrestrial festivals in English, right? Yeah.
Prismatic.
Oh,
Prismatic in
prismatic.
English.
Oh, sorry.
No,
No,
no, you're good.
no.
Yeah.
Then you're right. I don't think I have no idea. I think they're going to keep printing it. It all depends on. So the thing we always hear is the 12-month print cycle or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much they've actually been printing since it started with Surgeon Sparks. But you would have to guess that it's going to be around about, everybody's been saying the Mega Evolution sets, when they come out, that's when they should catch up. But I don't know if they're going to catch up. So I have no idea. Are we in a bubble right now? Definitely yes. We're at all-time highs. I would not recommend buying anything over retail price, for sure. But I have no idea when they're going to catch up. They are going to catch up one day, but I thought they would have caught up by now. I really did.
Yeah, I'm starting to lose hope as well as we get closer to the mega set. It just
Yeah,
seems like do you watch a non-TCG?
I know.
Oh,
I
I gotta
don't know.
send you, I gotta send you his channel. He does really good like breakdowns as far as like allocations and distributor stuff. So he comes, it's one of those like spreadsheet channels. I don't know if you it's nerdy stuff for guys like me, but
Yeah.
he's more predicting that Surging Sparks is damn near done. And it's just prismatic onwards. I
Yeah.
can see that happening, but I just don't know how how these booster boxes can just stay at 250.
Yeah.
I, it's just going to be very interesting.
I really thought prices would have been like at least at retail by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So the point that I was getting on before, I was getting mixed up between terrestrial and prismatic. The Japanese, like even the Japanese set is not crashing as fast as they typically do. Like usually the cards come out and they crash like very fast, and then Japanese cards, they're not usually that expensive. Like how much was the Sumbrian priced at?
Today, what I bought
Yeah,
this at,
when you bought that.
280, 280,
Yeah, like that's
280.
extremely rare for a Japanese card,
Yeah.
especially in the Scarlet and Violet era.
Mm-hmm.
So even the terrestrial, like their prices are holding high, and it's all down to English, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
if they cannot control the prismatic print run, and not print run, if they cannot control the demand for prismatic, then the Japanese cards are going to like be
Yeah.
affected by that.
Yeah.
Once the prismatic prices decrease, then the terrestrial prices will come down with them. But if prismatic doesn't meet demand, then terrestrial, like that Symbion, is just going to increase in price, I think.
Yeah. That's why it kind of scared me, right? That's when I traded that Charizard V, because I just bought one in Simplified Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like $40 something on eBay. I was like, I don't really care. I want the Charizard still in my collection. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna flip that for
So your thing
Sunburn.
is you really like the Japanese print quality, right?
I like the texturing for the SARs.
Right.
For the ARs, it just doesn't really matter to
So
me.
I'm interested to see what you think about the Charizard V, because the Chinese version has the Japanese texturing, but I think that card, to me, I think it looks better in English. The texturing, I think on the Charizard V, there's nothing really special about the texturing. Like the Japanese have those really cool texturing effects, like the Symbion. It looks amazing when you look at it in your hand, like
Yeah.
pops out all 3D
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
But the Charizard V doesn't have any like special like lighting effects or anything like that. It's just like extremely detailed texturing. And I prefer like the thick texturing of the Charizard V from Brilliant Stars. So I don't know. I'm interested on your take on that. Like,
Dang,
there are some cards where I think like everybody always talks about the Japanese, Chinese texturing being better than English. There
yeah.
are some cards where, especially if there's nothing going on with like the effect, like there's no special light in like beams of light
Yes.
or anything like that.
Yes.
Sometimes I just think the English looks better because of the thicker texturing.
I do agree. If I'm gonna have a card that just is like, I mean, this is a Korean card, right? When it just has very little, there's
Yeah,
obviously
like
no texturing. It's just a standard print. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna try to get it in but I am very curious to see. I also ordered I was telling Jake the Tyranitar from Battle Styles in Chinese. I don't know where it is. I totally forgot about it.
So I have something to tell you about this.
It got lost.
Maybe it got lost, maybe. But here's what happens, because I heard you speculating in the past about Japanese cards, like buying
Yeah.
Japanese cards on eBay,
Mhm.
and you said something like what they do is they rate to see if the price increases,
Yeah.
and then they if it increases in price, then they cancel the order.
Yeah. That's what Brian from Pokénini.
Okay, so I think that's true with sealed. Like with the sealed, when you're buying sealed products, they rate and they'll see if the price increases, especially recent sets like
Mm.
Glory of Team Rocket and those kind of sets, which are highly popular. But for the single cards, here's what actually happens, especially with Chinese.
Oh
I
God.
know with 100% certainty, there's a guy that I know in China who sells Pokemon cards on eBay. The guy's name is Card Army on eBay. That's his eBay name.
Yeah.
And if you ever, he's got like a really good service. Like he only, but here's what happens. He doesn't have the card on hand, and he lists the cards on eBay, and they're all doing this. So you buy from the eBay seller, and then they quickly go to the TCG player equivalent in China, and then they order the card themselves, and then they wait for it to get delivered to them, and then they ship it up.
Oh my
So
God.
that's typically what happens when you buy Chinese cards on eBay. That
Mm.
guy that I was just talking about, his name on eBay, Card Army,
Hmm.
like he does a really good job. Like he'll do his best to actually find like the best quality card. And uh, I've bought cards from him in the past, like not through eBay because I don't live in China. He's like my Chinese connection for
Hmm.
a point in time, and he would like help me find like a really good quality card, and then he'd send me a video and he'd be like, "How about this one?" I'm like, "Okay, sure."
Dang.
So
That's really
so
cool.
yeah. So anyway, like his whole thing is, and I'm guessing it's the same for pretty much all Chinese and Japanese resellers, is for singles, is they don't have the card on hand. They they list the card and then they go to find it for like a
Oh
cheaper
my
price.
God.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this card for like at least over a month. I,
So what might have happened with that one, because actually I think it's longer than a month, because I
it,
remember the
it
video
is
where you
longer
said
than a
you
month.
bought it. I think it might be like 3 months by now. So
Oh,
for that card, I think either he hopes that you forgot, or uh
it had like a 99%. It was like
okay.
99.3% rate.
Have you checked if the seller is actually still there? Because another thing with those Chinese resellers is that they open an eBay account and their prices are extremely low,
Yeah.
and they get a lot of sales quickly, but then their accounts get deleted because
Dude,
like
I
they
need to
mess
double
something
check.
up.
That's the
Yeah.
problem with buying so much at, I mean, dude, my desk is like Eric
And
knows,
if you
like
wait longer than if
just
you go over the 3 month period as well, then eBay won't give you the refund.
oh,
It's
okay.
like you've
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember with Jake when we were at the car show, I was like, dude, I have the Trinitar V in Chinese. And I was like, wait, that never came. So I definitely need to go on my eBay account
Yeah.
and check that out. But so the same thing with Japanese cards to an extent, the minus
I predict it's happening in Japanese.
yeah, yeah.
It
So
just makes a lot of sense. It's like an easy way to make money.
yeah, because once Brian said that, I was like, oh, that's why it just takes so long. Because I know it doesn't take long to ship from Japan to the United States.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
So especially sometimes if they have the card on hand, like I remember you bought. Remember those tag teams you were talking about
yeah,
them with Blake? You bought
yeah,
like 10 of the non-textured tag team cards,
yeah. All of these,
and you bought them all for like $1 each.
yep,
And they arrived within a week. I remember you posted the shop, and
yeah,
you're like, you like had your phone and you recording like your eBay and like
yeah,
your computer screen, and then you hit the
yeah,
purchase. Then
yep,
you uploaded the video, and then about 1 week later, you did the unboxing.
yeah,
And I was like, how did they come so fast?
yeah. I mean,
So
even you were
yeah,
surprised.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
in that instance, I guess they have the cards on hand. Like that might be
okay.
like an LGS or something. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, dude, because I was that Trinitar from Battlestyle is one of my favorite alternate arts, and I just can't afford it right now in that. But I'm going to go back. If at this point I might just request a refund because
Mm.
it's been too long. But let's get into one of the questions.
Okay.
I think this one was from Fabrication. I don't know if can you read it on the screen? Is it
I
pop up on the screen with you? Oh,
oh, there it is. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
what do you think about Chinese meal? Oh, okay, so the Chinese meal.
I knew it
I
was coming.
okay,
I knew it
okay.
was coming.
The Chinese Mew ruined Chinese collecting for me. Really. So here's the thing about Chinese collecting. There's a lot of exclusive cards, and nobody paid attention to those exclusive cards, like immediate attention, until they announced that the Chinese Mew was only going to have 1,510 copies printed. And then the moment, it was literally like the moment that PokeBeach posted the first limited run with the exact number being printed is being released, everybody started to focus on Chinese cards at that point. And then all of those exclusive cards since the announcement of the Chinese Mew, they've all been like the price of them immediately from launch is just like sky high. Whereas in the past, it was pretty much only Chinese collectors that was collecting those cards, and then English like collectors would slowly find out about them, and then very slowly over a period of, let's say, a year or so, then the price would increase like dramatically. Whereas now it's just within the first 24 hours, like the price is already sky high.
So crazy.
Here's the thing about the Chinese Mew. I am not convinced that there's only 1,510 copies. Really, like in my mind, that's not a thing. I don't believe it. I really don't believe it.
A lot of people think like you.
Yeah, I don't think it's true.
Yeah, a lot. I think Jake, if you're still here in the chat, Jake said the same thing. I was like, how do we know? How do we know that there's only? I got to see one this weekend, so that was really cool.
It's a nice card.
It is a nice card.
Here's another thing about that though. Mimic Brew. So I really like Mimic Brew. I think like his whole like persona is just like really playful and goofy. And
I hope to have him on next week.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he does all the chat videos, right? The TC every Friday.
Yep.
And I cannot watch those videos anymore. I don't watch anybody, but I always watch Mimic Brews, just because like his personality.
Yeah.
And just because like he's kind of goofy and like playful. In his, I only do this in his comment section, but in his comment section, I always post like these really goofy replies, like not replies, like these really goofy things. So he covered the Chinese Mew about 2 or 3 weeks ago in his video, and it sold for 20K on eBay in the PSA 10. And that blew my mind. I immediately pulled up my like TCG player app, like the Chinese equivalent, and checked the price. And in mainland China at that time, it was selling for $800. Somebody sold an $800 card in China for 20K on eBay. And I was like, holy cow. And I left a comment on his video. I was like, this blew my mind. I was like, I just checked the price in China. It's selling for $800 in the PSA 10. For the same price, the car, I put all this in my comment. I was like, for the same price, the guy could have bought an airplane ticket, flown to China, visited the Great Wall, walked into an LGS, picked up the card, flown to Taiwan. He could have bought the traditional Chinese Victini trophy card, which hasn't been released in any other language, and then got on a plane, flown to Japan, bought a bunch of Japanese. I can't remember my comment, but like I put this like long comment
itinerary. You wrote him an itinerary for his
basically
trip.
I was like, he could have done all of this for the price of that. It blew my mind. But here's the thing: after that sale, I looked about a week later at the price of the PSA 10 in China, and it's like 15K now. It's like that one eBay sale like took the card from $800 to like 15K. And the thing about the 151 Mew is it's not finished yet. So they're giving away, I think they're giving away like more than 100 cards. So they're doing more than 100 cards every month this year until December. So we're in July now, so there's still August, September, October, November, December. There's still at least 500 cards to enter the market of the Chinese 151 Mew. So that's why it blew my mind at the time. It's like 20, like the guy has no idea what he's doing. He just paid 20K for a card that's $800 in China. he could have easily reached out to like a big YouTuber, like let's say Crystal Collects, for example.
Yeah.
Could have
Yeah.
reached out to her and say, "Hey, I'm leave." She replies to like most of her comments. Just leave a comment on her YouTube channel. "Hey, I'm thinking of picking up this card, 20K on eBay." When you're spending 20K, why not do a bit of research before? Like,
Yeah.
and she would. I'm sure she would have been like, "Dude, that's not a 20K card in China. Like, you're
Yeah.
crazy." But that's basically what I said in Mimikyu's comment. I was like, Mimikryu's comment. I said that's like the most ridiculous thing ever. But then, based on that being sold for 20K, like it just went crazy.
Yeah, that's that last part where you said people need to do a little bit more research. The hobby right now, I think there's a lot of people with a lot of grown adult money that are just they want to spend.
Yeah.
And if I think the idea is that they, potentially has the first one, the first PSA 10 or the people are gonna spend right now. It's just like
I have a question for Jake. Jake's in
oh
the
yeah, of
chat.
course. Yeah.
So something I've always wondered is for the first PSA 10, people always talk about chasing the first PSA 10. This is a question for Jake. If he knows, just let us like reply in the chat. Is there any way to actually track if your card is the first PSA 10? Or maybe you know, Henry. Like, is there actually a way to there isn't a way to track
No,
that?
I don't. I wouldn't know, but I believe Dama did a full video because he did that with the what card did he do that with? Was it the Greninja? I
Oh
highly
yeah, he did
recommend.
that experiment, right?
Yeah, the experiment. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of him
So
being the first. Yeah,
I saw it
supposed.
was the Pikachu, the Pikachu.
Or Pikachu. Yeah, Pikachu.
And he
There you go.
got it. I believe he got it. But his
Mhm.
whole point, I don't think he mentioned in the video like if there's any way to track that. I think he just wanted to flip it quickly, right?
Yeah, yep, that's a
He
video.
bought like 3 or 4 copies, and then he sent the best one for grading, and then the one that came back at 10, he like put it on eBay. I think like what I remember was after his like buying all the cards, and some of them had like not 10 worthy or something, and then grading them, he said like he broke even or something.
Yeah, he barely broke even. So Jacob replied right here, said, no, you can't, and their system is slow. So it may say pop one, and you may think you're first, but it's not actually first.
So that's
I,
crazy. I guess the reason people do it is they just want to say they were first, maybe.
yeah. It is a big chance. Ugh. Let's take another comment. Man, there's a lot of comments. Did you try to get any of the PC drop, Pokemon Center drop today?
No, I didn't even know about it. Yeah.
Next time I get the link, I'm gonna send you, or when Joey
Thanks.
sends me the link, I'm definitely
So
gonna send
the
you.
other thing is that I buy my English cards from Pokemon Center UK, so it's probably got
Oh, it's different.
drop times
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Let's see, bro. All right, let's take this this question right here, bro. Some people are saying the Pokemon market have changed forever moving forward because of the recent boom was supposedly more organic, unlike 2020 when people were stuck outside. You want to tackle that, and then I'll kind of give my response.
I can see it, but I don't think so. I still think we're in a complete bubble. I think there's definitely way more. So people talk about 3 bubbles. They say like the 2016 Pokemon Go bubble, which I really don't think was a bubble. I think it was just like an increased interest, and it was mostly for evolutions, and it was very temporary. And they kept printing evolutions to the point where nobody wanted it anymore. So like the 2016 bubble was like nothing really. Then there's like the COVID bubble, and that was enormous. But this one seems to be even bigger. And I don't know. That's the key factor though. That this one seems so big compared to the last one. So I don't think it's going to get to the point like last time where after COVID, like so many people exited. It's going to be the same, but just due to the amount of new people that entered, after everybody gets out, they lose their money and they get out. The number of people that remain is still going to be like so much higher than
I agree.
what was initially here.
I totally agree. Yeah, that's an excellent take. I think the exact same thing. And one factor that I always hang my hat on is the Pokemon Pocket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen it personally in my life. I mean, my brother and sister-in-law, they went from zero Pokemon to Pokemon Pocket obsessed, and then
Mm,
going out to Targets to find Pokemon packs. I have a bunch of older people at my work that are in their 50s playing Pocket, and then going to Whatnot because it's an easy way for them to get Pokemon cards, and they're spending money on Pokemon cards on Whatnot.
mm,
So I think that is definitely, and of course, like rip and chip culture just in general is definitely, I wouldn't say messed up or it's just increased the bubble, right? So I think the Pocket effect, and a lot of people think that it didn't really do that much, but I highly disagree because I've seen it personally. And of course, I mean it's different for everybody, but I think it's something to speculate. It's like I said, a lot of older people as well buying Pokemon cards online just kind of because of Pocket, I think. But
mm.
I think it's definitely gonna it's just like you said, the bubble's gonna pop, but there's gonna be so many people left
Yeah,
in this space. So it's not gonna be comparable to the Logan
I
Paul
think
boom of 2020.
a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money though, and I think the money
Oh
that they lose this time around is going to be even more than last time. There's so many people going crazy. I watched the video that you reacted to about, and Team Rocket Joey also reacted to, about that one guy who spent like 20K on
yeah.
Pokemon cards and lost most of it. And then Joey also just put out another video yesterday, I think,
Mhm.
uh, of the guy who, uh, some guy called Simon who like bought a Generations pack for $70. Have you seen that one yet?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
So his whole video was like he bought this one Generations pack for $70, and he was talking about how because that Generations pack doubled to like $140 within the space of a month, is like he's basically like completely out of his mind and
Yeah.
thinking Pokemon's gonna make him a ton of money. He's got like three
Yeah.
videos he just started.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, there's a whole lot. It's it's not that I'm like tired of making the same style of content, but like I have to make that style of content because I'm trying to really look out for people, right? I really don't want people to get wrecked. And Joey's the same way. Like we make the content and we go after the people we go after, not go after, but just criticize the people that make these, bigger channels than us that make these little bit wild takes. You just got to take everything with a grain of salt. But I agree. I think a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money going into this big
More
Pokemon
than last
bubble.
time. Last
Way
time a
more.
lot of people lost a lot of money on vintage, but I think that was like a few elite people who have like those tens of thousands of dollars to spend. But now, like the average person is throwing like hundreds of dollars. There's so many people. There must be like tens of thousands of people who are throwing in like $1,000, $2,000 into Pokemon. And
So
like,
nuts.
yeah,
Before we answer Callie Steve's question, I want to throw a quick question at you. Do you think Japanese Pokemon cards are investable? Because I know that's a hot question right now, but I
they are
wanted to
absolutely sealed.
sealed. Yeah, yeah,
Sealed,
yeah.
sealed is absolutely investable, but you're not going to get a return in investment. And this is coming from somebody, like I said at the start of the stream, I don't invest in sealed booster
Hmm.
boxes. It's just like common knowledge based on years of watching these YouTube videos of people like looking at graphs and everything.
Yeah.
It's just that uh, it's not going to give you the return on investment as English does.
Hmm. For sure.
And there are some Japanese booster boxes that people look back on at, and they're like, look at the price of these $30 booster boxes now, from like the Sun and Moon era or the X and Y era. But the thing you have to remember about that time is that they were printing for Japan at that time, and now Japan's printing Japanese Pokemon cards for the US, for China, for the entire world basically.
Yeah.
So that's why those Sun and Moon era booster boxes and those X-Ray era booster boxes, black and white, that's why they're so expensive in Japanese. And the Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield sets, they're never going to see that kind of like, level of
Appreciation. Yeah.
appreciation
Yeah.
compared to, yeah. So I think right now, if you really want to invest in Pokemon, I think unless you're extremely passionate about Japanese, then I would say English is the best. But
Yeah.
again, that's coming from somebody who doesn't invest in Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I like to buy like two boxes of Japanese, and then if of each set, if one of
yeah,
them takes off, then it takes off.
yeah,
But I think
yeah.
I think it's investable. It's not, again, the appreciation is not comparable to English, but I think it is like a nice little lottery pick, if you
I
will,
think
you know?
any booster box you buy in any language is going to appreciate in value.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And first and foremost, it's English. Second is Japanese, and then third is just like evens. I think Chinese, Indian, Chinese, Indonesian, Thai, Spanish, whatever.
Hmm.
Like those languages are going to very slowly appreciate, whereas English just goes crazy like as soon as the print run ends, and
Hmm.
then Japanese like also increases pretty fast after the print runs end. But yeah, definitely English. Anything you buy that's sealed will go up in value though.
I don't know if you have any of these websites like on like off the top of the dome, but do you have any sites that you can maybe give us for maybe traditional Chinese or
Yeah.
simplified Chinese or even Indonesian? I'm really interested in the
Okay.
Indonesian, so I would love to hear.
Yeah. So here's my experience with Indonesian and Thai is zero,
Okay.
but the release schedule follows Japan for everything outside of the Sun and Moon era. So they took over in the Sun and Moon era, Japan, and they did unique like print runs for traditional Chinese, um, Indonesian, and Thai. They all had like their own unique print runs during the Sun and Moon era that didn't match Japanese. But like the moment it flipped to Sword and Shield, all of them completely match Japanese. So they typically release 1 to 2 weeks after the Japanese release, and everything's the same. The product range is entirely the same. So traditional Chinese, Indonesian, Thai, it follows Japan 100% like equally, just like
Mm-mm.
1 to 2 weeks behind. So uh, as for websites, like for Thai and Indonesian, I have no idea.
Yeah, because I can't
But
find
for
any.
yeah, for traditional Chinese, it's also difficult to get it in the US. But the best way to find the prices on them is there's a website in Taiwan. It's called Shopee, SHOPEE, and you'll have to like Google Translate the website because it's all in Chinese. But you can at least make an account, and then you can view the website and then like search for the cards. Now it's like an Amazon style website, so you're not going to be able to search, like it's not like a Pokemon website where you can
Yeah,
just
it's not
look
like
at the
TCG
picture.
player. Yeah, it's not
So
like
the best
TCG.
way to do it is find a Japanese card that you like just search a card in Japanese and then look at the bottom left corner, and you'll see the code. It'll be like SV1A and then like 076 as the card number or whatever.
Hmm.
And the traditional Chinese follows that like 100% to a T.
Hmm.
So if there's a Japanese card, you like just don't look at the
Oh, cool.
English, look at the
Oh, cool.
Japanese number, and then just put that into Shopee, and at least you'll get like a rough idea of what the price is in Taiwan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
because
that
I
that
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
that's the best way to like price traditional Chinese cards. But the other thing is that I wouldn't recommend anybody collect traditional Chinese cards unless you live in Taiwan, because simplified Chinese is much cheaper than traditional Chinese.
And
And
that's
simplified
kind of
Chinese,
sorry.
it's impossible for anybody to find the prices outside of Asia, because uh, there's an app that they use to sell their cards. It's called TCG Society, but it's locked behind the Chinese App Store because the app is only in Chinese. It doesn't have an English version. So if you try to get it on the US App Store, the UK App Store, it doesn't show up. But it's called TCG Society, and it's only available on like Chinese speaking app stores, Chinese language app stores or whatever. And and that's like a full-blown TCG player clone, but for simplified traditional Japanese English cards, basically everything. And uh, you can look up the price of anything on there. But again, like the thing about Chinese internet is that there's internet for the world, then there's Chinese internet for mainland China, and then there's North Korean internet for North
Oh
Korea,
yeah, North Korea. Yeah.
and like the three don't mix together.
Oh,
So
okay.
like if you like try to search for, even if you like go to Google Translate and you copy the term that you want and then you put it into Google, you're not going to get any results like from websites that are actually in
Holy.
China. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when you were trying to tell me the differences. I mean, maybe we can go into that just really quick, the traditional to simplified Chinese
Okay.
differences for the audience that.
Yeah, I think this is actually really important. A lot of people don't know. So traditional Chinese launched almost 6 years ago. And traditional Chinese is for Taiwan primarily, and then Hong Kong and Macau. So between those three regions, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, there's probably around about 30 million people, I would guess. And then of the 30 million, I would say about 24 million are in Taiwan. So the over 6 million are split between Hong Kong and Macau, and like basically the amount of basically what I'm trying to say is all the traditional cards that you see are coming from Taiwan, just because of the high population. They launched 6 years ago, and they were playing a similar thing to what Simplified Chinese is doing now, because they launched mid Sun Moon era. So for the back half of the Sun and Moon era, traditional Chinese, Indonesian, and Thai, they were all catching up to Japanese for the Sun and Moon, like first half of the era. And they did it within like half an era. So within half an era, they released basically all of the Sun and Moon cards, like squashed into that like 1.5 year period. And then since Sword and Shield is being released one-to-one with Japanese. And Simplified Chinese is sold exclusively in China, in mainland China. And that first launched around about 2.5 years ago now. So the Sun and Moon cards that you see in traditional Chinese, they were printed pre-boom, pre-COVID boom. And basically, the cards are already in collectors' hands now. It's like anybody who wanted that card already has it in their PC.
So is it this one? Is this?
No, that's simplified.
Simplified. Okay.
Yep. So the next thing is that so basically traditional Chinese cards are already in the hands of collectors. They were printed pre-boom, the Sun and Moon cards, so that's why the prices are so much higher than simplified. Simplified Chinese released 2.5 years ago, starting with Sun and Moon, and they timed it perfectly. We can get into that later.
Yeah.
But they started with Sun and Moon 2.5 years ago, post-COVID boom. So that's why the simplified Chinese cards are so much cheaper. It's because they came after the boom period. Basically, everybody, the tag team cards rose so high. If you remember the first tag team bull run, it was like when you first started the podcast. The tag team cards were going crazy at that time. So traditional Chinese cards also increased in value at that time, but the simplified Chinese cards, they never experienced that. They only came out 2.5 years ago, which is why they're so much cheaper. The second thing is that simplified Chinese is much cheaper at retail than traditional Chinese. I actually wrote the numbers down because I figured that this question would come up. So a traditional Chinese booster box is around about $60, which is crazy. It's like double Japanese.
Yeah.
Whereas a traditional a simplified Chinese booster box is, the standard booster boxes are, let me see, $24 in China. And then the specialty booster boxes, like the gem sets and the Collect 151, they're $21 in China. So the price of simplified Chinese is like 1/3, like the retail price is 1/3 of traditional Chinese. So that's why simplified Chinese, I always recommend never collect traditional Chinese. If you only collect in the art, just collect simplified Chinese.
Interesting.
And then as for the actual differences on the cards, the texturing, like I said, if you put Japanese, traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, Thai, Indonesian, all in a line next to each other, you'll see every card has the exact same texturing. The only thing that's different between traditional and simplified Chinese, other than the price, is the font on the cards. So the best way that I can explain it is that traditional Chinese is like if you're typing on a computer, it's like Times New Roman. So if you imagine like the Times New Roman, it has that rear like squiggly A. And like the G like goes down and it like squiggles around, like that kind of thing. So that's kind of like what traditional Chinese is, where simplified Chinese is more of a Comic Sans. I don't know if you've seen Comic Sans, but it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically like how school kids write with like the very
Yep.
simple A. So
Yeah.
that's the difference. That's the main difference. Is one is just like a more advanced font that takes more strokes to write with a pencil, whereas Simplified Chinese is designed to write quickly. So it's like comparing Times New Roman and Comic Sans.
So
There are, yeah,
this is so this would be simplified.
that's Simplified Chinese.
See that Chinese looks very not simple.
Yeah, it's
It
not
looks
simple.
that looks crazy.
There's no, even though the name is Simplified Chinese, there's nothing simple about it.
Yeah, that's
It should be
crazy.
called Simpler Chinese.
Simple. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. That's basically all of the differences right there. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because and is
So
there
I'll tell the best way for people to remember this. Okay.
Yep.
So T for traditional.
Yeah.
Okay. T for Taiwan.
T for Taiwan.
So Taiwan uses traditional, and then S for simplified. Let's just say like S for strict, because China is so strict on their people. So that's the best way. Taiwan T, traditional. S, Chinese, simplified. Traditional came before simplified. Anything that's simplified is like a newer version of something traditional. So
Yes.
traditional Taiwanese, traditional cards launched before simplified Chinese, and then traditional obviously has more strokes in the font than simplified. So that's like basically the easiest way that people can remember. Just remember the T and the S. T,
Okay.
Taiwan, traditional here.
Oh, very easy. Now that I think of it like this, yeah. Because I sometimes I say maybe the wrong thing, and I'm like, wait, hold on, I don't fully know.
So the other
But
thing that people get confused about as well is they hear Taiwan and then they think, oh, Thai, and then they think Thailand, but it's also completely different. Like Taiwan and Thailand have no relation at all. So like
okay.
in Taiwan they speak Chinese. So
Yeah. Yeah, because I've been I don't know if you heard me saying like the Taiwanese
yeah,
unified minds have different
yeah.
booster
So
box artwork.
it is
Very
true.
beautiful.
It is true. So Taiwanese Unified Minds has a different, which is Taiwanese is traditional Chinese. So
Oh, okay.
traditional Taiwanese Unified Minds has a different artwork. But remember what I just told you, that they kind of branched in 3 different rays during the Sun and Moon. So Thai, as in Thailand, Thai Unified Minds has its own art as well, and then so does Indonesia.
And
In the Sun and Moon, they all have their own unique sets. Like the
cool.
same cards,
Yeah.
but they're mixed into different sets.
Yeah.
And then the booster boxes and packs are different arts.
Yeah, like during this like crazy Pokemon bull run, I've just been kind of dabbling on eBay, finding stuff that just random stuff like I said, just the different Unified Minds booster boxes and Thai and
Yeah.
and I'm gonna try to collect. Maybe I should go to you first and ask you if it's a good deal before I hit the buy button.
Man, you have my contact details.
Yeah.
So anytime you want to, and I tell my viewers, I've got a very small YouTube channel. I like anytime somebody wants to buy a card on eBay, just ask me what the price is in China. You just send me a message and I'll tell you the price, and then you'll know like
Oh, cool.
a good offer to make. I typically say plus 30% on the price in China, because a lot of the time it's like plus 100%, but the eBay fees are 15%, and then give the seller like 15%. And usually they're happy, because remember, like I said, those tag team cards that you were buying them for like $1. And the seller was happy to sell those cards to you for $1 a piece. So like a 15% markup, they'll take it if you offer that. The worst that can happen is they give you a counter offer. That's the worst that can happen.
Yeah, because you're the one that put me on to the offer part.
Yeah, never. That's the key part for people buying Chinese cards on eBay. Never press buy it now. Always press make an offer, because typically those cards have been like often they've been marked up 100%, but they've at least been marked up 50% compared to the price in China.
Yeah, very interesting.
Like those cards that you bought. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Regular tag team cards that you picked up for like $1 each.
Yeah, these.
When you were picking them up for like $1 each, so when they first came out, I'm not even lying, they were like 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent cards. And when you were picking those cards up, they were like, at that point, they were like 30 cents cards or something.
Oh, okay.
And then now they're all like $2 cards, even in China.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I did a eBay, you know, they recommend you some stuff.
Yeah.
And the one I have a few tech because I pretty much bought all of what he had on that site. And there's a few I'm missing. I'm not too sure off the top of the head, but now they're almost $2. So they're
Yeah.
full 100% up in value, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
just
But
like
that tells you how much they're willing to work for $1. So like when you see those 100% price increases, you know that they're going to be willing to drop the price considerably.
Yeah. I would like I don't know if you heard like my whole idea or my goal for this channel. So I'm trying to learn Japanese as much as I can. It's tough. Like I try to do it at work while I'm, you know, just doing my stuff. I have my podcast in, trying to learn Japanese so I could go to Japan and kind of do interviews when these big sets come out. I would love to see like someone else do that in other parts of the world, like the Thai markets, the
Okay.
Chinese markets. I would
So
love
I don't
to.
want to break your heart. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Especially in China, there's
Yeah.
no nostalgia for Pokemon.
Oh shoot.
So in Taiwan, there is some nostalgia, but when you were talking about Japan being a player's market, Taiwan is pretty much like only a player's market. It's not even a collector's market, basically. So
Oh
that's
shoot.
traditional Chinese. And then simplified Chinese is like not even a player or a collector's market. It's a flipping market. Like people buy the cards and then flip them in the States. And I shouldn't say there's no collecting or no playing, because there is. They tried extremely hard. They put out a lot of incentives. I have some of the cards on my desk. I'll show you soon. But they put out a lot of incentives during the early days, like two years ago, to get people playing the game in China. So there are some players that remain from that. But for the most part, the simplified Chinese market in China is people just flipping cards to Westerners. And the other thing is people buying expensive Japanese and English cards as investments in China. So
Wow.
that's like the two completely different sides. It's like the simplified Chinese, they're flipping it outside of the country. And then the expensive English and Japanese cards they're bringing in as investments. And there's a very important reason as to why this is. And it's because the Pokemon video games have been banned since the conception of them, since Gen 1, all the way through until the launch of the Switch. So there's no nostalgia like for the video games. It's like when the Nintendo Switch came out, that was around about the time that Chinese government like unbanned the Pokemon video games. And I say the Pokemon video games is Western video games in general. Like it was around the time the original Switch came out, that they like became open to the idea of people playing Western video games. And then the cartoon, the anime, I should say, it wasn't banned, but it was kind of shadow banned. So China has a situation where they want to support homegrown anime studios. So they have rules that, and you remember like in the 90s and 2000s, it was all about peak hours, peak TV time. And that was typically when Pokemon would air in the Western world. But in China, they had rules that were during peak TV hours, the TV stations were only allowed to air made in China anime. So anime produced by Chinese anime studios. Because of that, the original anime launched, was shown outside of like traditional viewing hours. So not many people were exposed to it. And then on top of that, the other rule was that China had their own like anime dub companies, so or cartoon dub companies or whatever. So basically any company that Western company or any company like Japanese or whatever that wanted to air their anime inside China, they had to hand their Japanese anime or American cartoons or whatever to these Chinese like official government dubbing companies who would then dub them into Chinese, and they would like take parts out and whatever that they felt wasn't sensitive to Chinese
Mm,
culture, but
yeah.
also because it was like a Chinese dubbing company owned by the government, basically CCP ran dubbing company, they would like not put much effort into those because they wanted to support their homegrown Chinese anime. So there's
Dang.
basically like in mainland China, there's not really any nostalgia for Pokemon.
Wow. But that there could be a really cool like video like idea, you know, to kind of
Yeah.
I would be assume a lot of work, but you know, I'm just saying maybe not for me, but I think it'd be a really really cool idea for a video. But
So there's a guy that just commented. I think that that's the reason Pokemon is printing these exclusive Chinese products. They are trying to rebalance demand and grow the domestic market in China, and that is 100% the reason why. And I wanna like now, sorry, like to lead the
oh no
conversation
no
and take it
no,
into
you're
a
good.
completely
Yeah.
different path. I want to like lead into how perfectly the Pokemon Japan has managed like the Chinese simplified Chinese, specifically the simplified Chinese print run. So they launched 2.5 years ago, and they timed it perfectly because when they launched traditional simplified Chinese Pokemon cards in mainland China, they did it at a time when we were like coming. I think we just started Scarlet and Violet 2.5 years ago, right?
Yep.
And at that time, yeah, it was like the start of the podcast. And I
Hmm.
remember those early podcasts, you and Eric would talk about tag team cards like skyrocketing in price.
It's
So it's
crazy.
very interesting when you think about it
Yeah.
that they launched simplified Chinese with Sun and Moon, which was already what, like six years out of print by that
Hmm.
time or something. And it was like a perfect decision by Japan at that time because those tag team cards in every language, even in traditional Chinese, they were so expensive at that point. Like pretty much all of the tag team cards were over $100 in English, in Japanese. And it was like such a good decision to do that because it created a money glitch in China. And what I mean by a money glitch in China was at that time when Sun and Moon first launched in China 2.5 years ago, due to the prices of English and Japanese singles, you could buy a full sealed case of simplified Chinese booster boxes, like 24 boxes or whatever is inside the case, open them up, open every card, take out only the alt arts, the tag team alt arts, and then flip them on eBay and like double your money.
Dang.
And that was basically like the initial push into China. It came with that. It was like a way for Chinese people to basically immediately get cards that were valued way more than the booster box they were opening was. And that's not even including like that's why those regular tag team cards, the regular EXs, that's why they were costing like 1 cent, 2 cent a card, because you've got like 3 or 4 in a box, and the hit alone would like double the. If you got an alt art, it might like triple the price of a booster box. Like, sorry, you might like receive like triple if you flipped it on eBay, like triple the cost of what your booster box was selling for. And then when they moved into Sword and Shield, which was about a year ago now, the demand just wasn't there because we just ended Sword and Shield in English and Japanese. So there wasn't really any demand for those Sword and Shield sets in simplified Chinese. Nobody was really flipping the cards on eBay because most of the cards were still fairly cheap in English and Japanese, outside of the big ones like the Lugia or the Moonbyon or whatever. Those
Mhm.
cards were like not that valuable at the time when they came out in simplified Chinese. So they realized, okay, we need to do something to keep interest high in simplified Chinese. And that's when they started to come out with all of those exclusive simplified Chinese cards.
Wow. That is yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. That was from Suge, right? I think Suge lives in Japan. So yeah, he's always asking a really good question. But yeah, that's dude. I mean, Jordan is dropping absolute alpha today. Oh man. Um, do you think so? the future's really bright then for Simplified Chinese, do you think,
I
as
don't
far
think
as like all
so.
this exclusive? You don't think so?
I honestly don't think so. So
Oh, okay.
I think that if they, here's my take on Simplified Chinese. Oh, but here's the thing. Sorry to go back to a point that I
No, you're
just
good.
realized. With like the increased knowledge of Pokemon in China and like the ability to flip your cards and make like a big profit,
Hmm.
that was like what brought a lot of Chinese investors in, and then that pulled them into like buying up all of those like limited Japanese promo cards, like the ponchos and everything, and making those prices go crazy. And then English as well, like investing in the Moonbyons and all of that kind of stuff, like just picking them up on eBay and then pulling them into China. But it was
Wow.
basically like, so that's where those big pockets from China like came from.
Yeah.
They're not really interested in the modern Chinese stuff since the end of the Sun and Moon era. But like that initial realization that we can make money from this is what brought them into collecting the English and Japanese cards.
I didn't know. What was this? Sorry, I think we missed what was the first, the last part we were gonna say as well. I think what Shift was saying.
A bright future for China.
Oh, bright future. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's going to be much of a bright future for Simplified Chinese. I think if they keep doing the exclusive cards, which I think they are going to keep doing because there's big money in it, they'll keep doing that. So I think Simplified Chinese is still going to get a lot of exclusive cards for a long time now, and those cards are always going to be expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't you say you wanted to get into the one, was it the 151 boxes you wanted to get
Ooh,
into?
okay, okay,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. All right. So here's my take on the 151. A lot of people got super interested in simplified Chinese with the 151 mu,
Hmm.
and many people don't even realize that that card is not pullable in those 151 booster boxes. So first of all, let me explain how you get this mu. The mu is only given out to players who attend competitions. So there's like a checklist, and I think it's like you need to attend like 3 regional events or something. And once you've attended 3 regional events, then your name gets put into like the database. And then every month they draw like 110, 120 people or something like that. They draw the names. They've been doing it since January. And then they draw the names. And if your name gets drawn out, then congratulations, you get a exclusive 1,510 copied mu or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of people, they think that that mu is actually inside the the mailman's here. Just
Oh, no, you're
wait
good.
1 minute, 1 minute.
No, you're good. You're good. Let me tackle a question. Dune B says, interesting that other languages do the awesome texturing, yet English is still so basic texturing. Dune Beast, that's what I've been trying to push to you guys, my audience, for so long. There's so many different types of texturings on a lot of cards, yet people still think that English texturing compares, but it's just not anywhere near some of these other Asian languages. But what were you saying?
Sorry, my doorbell is so noisy.
No, you get it.
Anyway, back to that point. So a lot of people, they think that the mu is inside the 151 collect boxes. It isn't. It's a completely separate thing. So now back to the 151 collect. I think that the set is terrible. Like really terrible. So I want to break it down to people who don't actually know what's in the set. So this is Simplified Chinese 151. They're releasing 4 sets. Now the first 2 sets, the first set that they released had like the lone Pikachu card. It's like a Pikachu like jumping, and that was the chase card for that set. And then the second set had the Pikachu and Psyduck.
Hmm.
Now those 151 collect boxes, they had no overpulls. So the only overcard that was of some kind of value in English was the gold Mew from 151. And then over than that, there's no pulls. There's no IR cards or AR cards. So
No
like
way.
all of the 151 IR and AR cards, they're not in simplified Chinese 151. None of them. All of the old arts, they're not in 151 Simplified Chinese. So all these people going crazy for the 151 Simplified Chinese, the boxes are empty. And then on top of that, the Gengar, not the Gengar, sorry, the Psyduck and the Pikachu. So the first set had the Pikachu, and then the second set had the exclusive Pikachu and Psyduck. Those cards are around about 1 in 10 booster boxes. So if you buy a booster box, your chance of pulling those cards is not very good. If you buy 10 booster boxes, maybe you still won't get the card. Like, who knows? So and then the price of the cards is probably less than the price of 10 booster boxes. It's always like that with hits. So for me, I would say definitely avoid the first two sets, because there's no illustration rares, there's no special illustration rares. There's only the gold Mew and then the regular full art. So it's got like the regular full art Charizard, the regular full art Alakazam, those kind of cards. But only those cards. And then it's got like a lot of flashy hollows, like Master Balls and Pokeballs that they just keep throwing at you. But they're not worth anything. Like, the cards are like 1 cent, 2 cent cards, like the Pokeballs. And then the Master Ball, the only Master Ball that's worth any money is the Gengar Master Ball. And then the next thing is that there's 4 sets, and all 4 sets are exactly the same. The only thing that they're chasing, that they're changing, is the Pikachu chase from each set. So if you look at set 1, that's already released, and you look at set 2, that's already released, they're exactly the same cards. The only thing that changes is the Pikachu exclusive card changed to a Pikachu and Psyduck. And then the next set is going to be a Pikachu and Gengar. But all of the other cards are exactly the same. So it's not even like they rotate the cards. It's not like, okay, this is set 1, so we're going to have like 40 of the first Pokemon or whatever. And then the next one's going to have 5. No, it's the same. It's like the same in every set. I will say one thing. The third set that is about to release with the Gengar promo, they finally, so the first 2 sets were identical. Like, the only chase card other than the Pikachu was the Mew, the gold Mew from 151. This third set, they are finally introducing 2 new cards. So they're introducing the Bubble Mew and the Alakazam SIR. But everything else is exactly the same as the 3 sets. And the other thing about that is, with every set that they release, the price of the Master Balls depreciates. Because now you're getting even more Gengar Master Balls. And then the next set, even more Gengar Master Balls. And then the next set, even more Gengar Master Balls. So right now, the Gengar Master Ball is the only, in China, is the only card that's worth any money outside of the Pikachu exclusive cards. But the price on those cards is, the price on the Gengar is just going to keep dropping with the release on every set. So there's a hot tip as well. Like, the Bubble Mew is about to release. Anybody who missed out on the Bubble Mew, it's going to be available in Simplified Chinese cheap, like within the next month.
Okay, I'm gonna. Eric. If you're still here, we got a chance. I will be grabbing it. Hopefully on eBay, it's not crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
The final thing is going to be set 4, and I'm interested to see, like, the first 2 sets were identical. The third set is identical with the addition of the Bubble Mew and the Alakazam. So I'm interested to see, do they do anything crazy for the 4th set? But I'm guessing not. But I will say, like, this 3rd set has the Gengar in it. If you look at the 4 exclusive Pikachus from the 4 sets, they've all been revealed. The Gengar is, like, by far the best.
Oh, so
the Gengar looks amazing. You know what? I even love the pack art of that. I actually these packs are kind of worthless, but I don't know if you've ever seen the PSA graded packs.
No.
Oh, you haven't? So the PSA will put like packs inside of like a slab and then
Oh,
grade
yeah.
Oh, you've seen it? I would love, like, the pack is going to be worthless, but I would love just to have like one of those Gengar packs inside like a PSA 10 slab or something. It would display like amazingly.
Do you have any price predictions of what that Mew would be in Simplified Chinese? Would it be
Mew? So right now, I checked a few days ago, and like I said, in the PSA 10, now it's like 14K in China, and it was all because of that eBay.
No, the Bubble
the
Mew.
Gengar.
No,
the Bubble Mew. The Bubble Mew. It all depends on the pull rates. I would guess, because the Mew, like the gold Mew, that's only 97 RMB. I checked a few days ago. 97 RMB is like, it's actually kind of pricey for the gold meal. It's like $12, I would guess.
Oh, yeah.
So for a gold meal, that's kind of expensive actually.
Oh, wow. $12. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Because I think in English, the gold meal from 151 is probably not much more than $12.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but I don't know. I would guess like the bubble meal will be around about that price in China. It'll probably be about $15 in China.
oh my
So on
gosh.
eBay, the sellers will probably list it for about $100. But if you made an offer of like, really, but they'll
50?
probably, yeah, maybe not even that. I would say make an offer of 30, and then they might come back at you with like 70, and then counter them with 50 or something like that.
Okay. All right. Dude, dude, you're putting so many people, like, you're blowing minds right now in the chat. Everyone's
So
like,
the
wow.
the thing about China as well that you have to remember is that China has like a haggle culture,
Oh yeah.
whereas the Western world does not have a haggle
No.
culture anymore. So
Mm-mm.
like in China, they'll be fine. That's why they're all making offer. Like they're fine
Yeah.
with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I'm excited for you to watch the podcast tomorrow because Eric was so funny at the card show. Like he is like the most anti-haggler you'll ever meet. So he'll actually he was going to all the vendors that like had like sad little pretty much nothing, like just a few cards. I'm like, didn't make really sense for them to really be there. But Eric would go and try to, make them feel good by going to their little shops. And he is, if there's a sticker price, Eric will pay the sticker price. He will not try to haggle. Where I'm like, some of the vendors, they had some pretty wild prices on a lot of this English stuff. But yeah, you're blowing a lot of people's minds in the chat. And yeah, Doom Beast, amazing information. Go to guest as well. W Podcast. Thanks, Doom
Yeah,
Beast.
thanks.
Yeah, hopefully, Jordan, dude, we gotta make this like at least once a month, maybe every other month if you
I
can.
really can't do it. I would love to do it, but it's like right now I'm a teacher,
Oh
so
yeah, yeah,
right now
teacher,
it's
yeah,
summer
yeah.
vacation for me. But because of the time zone differences and then like
Oh
family,
yeah.
I've got, my son's only 6 years old. Like
Oh yeah, yeah,
weekends,
yeah, yeah.
I can't
Let
really
dude.
like leave him in the house to do his own thing.
Oh yeah, whenever you can, dude. Whenever you
Yeah.
can, I will do a 3 o'clock in the morning stream if you can, as because I'm just trying to try to bring on different people, different. But I'm glad that we got you on. Let's see. Yeah, Jamie Andres says, so just buy promos, huh?
Okay,
Yeah.
so even the promos, I actually think there's a lot of investment opportunity in Chinese, but you have to look at the market very carefully and make calculated decisions. So I've got some cards on my desk, like in front of me, ready that I could like show
Let's
and
do
as
it.
like investment ideas.
Oh,
And
let's
like,
do it.
okay, so
Because that was a shill
I
comment. That was a shill comment right here. Let me pull this one up right before you. It said shill for the culture, and let me pull this one up right about. Oh my gosh, gosh dang it, there's a lot of comments, dude. You guys have been like, yeah, you just pull them up. I'll find it right here. Oh, here we go, bam. Okay, all right, Jordan, show us some. Show us
okay,
some
so now I'm
cards,
gonna go on
man.
like my sales pitch for Chinese.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Because I typically think like it's not a good idea to invest in Chinese Pokemon cards at all. But if you make calculated decisions, you can profit like a lot and very easily. So the first thing you've got to do is keep on top of the release schedule, and you can do that by if you go to Google and you search PTCG and then CN, as in China. Like I told you that the Chinese internet is like the Chinese internet. But for some reason, like you can access that. Like anything else, if you copy and paste like Pokemon searches in Chinese and put them in Google, you're not going to find anything. But if you put PTCGCN, then you'll find like the official mainland Chinese website, and you can keep on top of the Chinese release schedule, and it'll show you like the exclusive cards in each set. So like the past set had that exclusive Arcanine.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy the Arcanine because, like I said, I'm not really an investor, and like to me that card didn't appeal to me. So I didn't buy it. But when it first came out, the card was like $34. It was 200 RMB, so it's like $34 card. And now in China, the card is 800 RMB. So it's like 4x in the space of a month. So if you're on top of Chinese cards and you get the release date down, and you know, like when everything's coming out and what exclusive cards are in each set, you can time it just right. Another one is the Detective Pikachu. Again, I didn't buy the card. That was like the start of the hype. So what typically would happen with these exclusive cards is they'd have like an initial shoot up, like a quick like shoot up, and then they'd come down. And that like initial shoot was like the few people who did know about those Chinese cards, like buying them on eBay. And then once they stopped buying them, then the price would come back down, and that's usually when I would jump in. But the Captain Pikachu was the first time that it didn't happen because they already announced the Mew. So everybody already had their attention on Chinese, simplified Chinese at that point. So when the Captain Pikachu came out, everybody was waiting for it. PokeBeach had started covering Chinese cards, and everybody was there waiting for it. So the Pikachu came out, and then I was waiting for the drop to come down to like buy it, and it just kept going up, 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 up. So when the Pikachu came out, the Captain Pikachu again was like a $34 card. It was 200 RMB. And that's often the case in simplified Chinese, like the chase card in China will be 200 RMB, like the price of a booster box. So I missed out on the Detective Pikachu, not Detective, the Captain Pikachu, expecting the price to drop, and it didn't, and it just kept going up and up and up. So so let's start with the lower end old arts, let's say like a Beadwell V or something like that. If you buy a Beadwell V in Chinese, I can guarantee that you're never going to be able to buy it for a cheaper price than you buy it now. But is it investable? I would say no, because you're never going to be able to flip a Beadwell V to anybody else in America.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody's going to want to buy a Chinese Beadwell V from you. But if you want the Beadwell V for the cheapest possible price, then you can buy it in Chinese now for the cheapest it's ever going to be. And then you're not going to be able to, because the prices are not going to come back down. They're just going to slowly increase on like those bottom level EX and V cards and tag team cards or whatever. They're going to be cheap now, and they're going to slowly increase. So this is what always happens with the bottom cards. Now, if we go on to like the better, like the upper tier cards, like the Moonbryon or the Giratina or the Sunbryon or whatever, you can time these cards perfectly, and a lot of them have yet to be released in simplified Chinese. They've released in traditional, but as we covered earlier, like traditional isn't worth Westerners investing in. So let me see, what do I have? So here is the Latias and Latios tag team card. So I bought this for $60 when it first came out in simplified Chinese. And the way that I looked at this was, I'm not even a huge fan of this card. So I really am not. Like a lot of these cards that I'm going to show you, I bought them just because it was an obvious buy at the price. So when this card came out, you look at it at every language: English, Japanese, Korean, traditional Chinese. When every language is like a $200 card at the time that it came out, it was obviously going to increase in value. And this is like the card of the generation for Sun and Moon now. Obviously not at the time, but now this is like the chase of the Sun and Moon generation. So a card like this, where you can look at it and you say, okay, everybody likes this card in English. The price is way out of hand for most people. Most people can't justify spending that in English. So $65, it'll probably increase. So what happens is the English price keeps increasing, and then everything else increases, and then only the simplified Chinese is left. And everybody buys up that one, and then now that card is like $400 or something. And yeah, and that's like so that's like what I'm talking about with the easy plays. Another one that I got, let me find it somewhere around here. Okay, here. So the Moonbryon, I bought this day one. I had a friend from Taiwan who traveled to China for business. He's also into Pokemon, and he was in China the day that this card came out. And I've also got a rule that I'll never spend more than $100 on any Chinese card.
Okay.
So that's like my rule for Chinese. Never, I just refuse to pay anything more than $100 for a Chinese card. And I told him, I was like, if you see the Moonbreon, well, I actually had the TC, like the Chinese TCG player equivalent on my phone.
Mhm.
So basically, the morning that it launched, because the rule is that on that app is that people cannot put their cards on sale until 10 a.m. in the morning. So at
Mm.
exactly 10 a.m. in the morning, I opened up the app and I saw all the cards, and there was like the price on them was like 90 to ranged from like 90 to around about $120 on the Moonbreon.
Mhm.
And at that time, the cheapest alternative was like the traditional Chinese card, which was like $400 already. And then I believe the Korean was also like $400 by that point. So I thought, okay, it's an easy play as well. It's like the card of the generation. So once the supply dries up in English and Japanese, then people are going to look for the cheapest option elsewhere.
Mhm.
And an easy play. So I did a video on the Moonbreon on my channel like about a month ago. And when I checked the price at that time, it was selling for $900. The Chinese, simplified Chinese Moonbreon, $900. I remember you also saying you were going to buy the simplified Chinese Moonbreon. Like you kept saying it on the podcast. You're like, I'm going to buy the simplified Chinese Moonbreon. I'm going to buy it. And
And
I
then
didn't.
it's
I didn't
gone.
think it would increase that much. I was expecting like uh, $100 might increase to like $400 over like 3 or 4 years or something. I didn't expect within that was only 1 year ago. It launched like July last year. So within like 1 year, it increased to $900 was like the sale on eBay at that time that I made
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I think the exact same thing, and I've said that before, multiple podcasts, multiple lives. I said people are gonna always want the most affordable option
Yeah.
when it comes to those really big
Yeah. The
cards,
big, the
Lugia,
big house.
Giratina,
Yeah.
yeah, Moonbreon. But yeah, what else you got for
I'll
us?
see what else I've got. So now these ones are traditional Chinese cards and they've not launched and simplified. So you should be on the lookout for them.
Okay.
But this is the Giratina. So the Giratina, I know you like this card. I don't like it.
I mean, Greninja.
Oh, sorry, the Greninja, not the
Yeah.
Giratina. The Giratina is here somewhere. This is the Greninja. I know you like this card.
Oh, I love that card.
I'm not a big fan of this card, but it was like another one of those where I wasn't even gonna buy it. And then I saw the Japanese came out. If you remember when the Japanese released, it wasn't that expensive.
It wasn't.
And then the Twilight Masquerade released, and they changed the pull rates, and then they low
Mhm.
printed the set, and then Twilight Masquerade went crazy. Remember that?
Oh
And
yeah.
then the Greninja was like the first card to launch at like $200 or something like that.
Yep.
And it was also the first card, if you remember, from the Scarlet and Violet era that didn't decrease in value. It actually increased the second week, and then the third
Mhm.
week it increased, and it just kept increasing. So by like a month out, so this card by that time in traditional Chinese, because they follow the Japanese release schedule, it was probably already like 3 months out or something like that. And I saw the Greninja in English just like kept going up and up and up week by week. And I thought, okay, this is 4 weeks. It's kept increasing in price. The price is like $300 now. And I looked up the price in traditional Chinese. And at that time, I actually left a comment on your channel at that time. I picked it up for $30. Yeah.
Crazy.
And now so it's the traditional Chinese is still not worth that much, but it's like $80, $90 now in traditional Chinese. But again, it just shows like Chinese cards, they are like investable basically
Oh yeah, 100%.
if you play it right. So a tip for everybody: Greninja is about to come out in simplified Chinese. It's not going to be in the next set, but I would guess it hasn't been announced yet. I'd guess within the next 2 to 3 sets, it'll be
Mm,
released in simplified Chinese based on the. And again, when it first comes out, it's going to be very affordable. It's one of the cards of the Scarlet and Violet era. If you want that card, then like you can pick that card up. Like if you like the art, if it's an art, if it's a card that you want, but the Japanese and the English are too expensive now, you can pick that up, and I can almost guarantee that the price will probably triple within a year.
crazy. Yeah. I
Uh,
that's one that I was looking to flip one of some of my English product into one of those in Japanese at the card show, but I couldn't find any. And the English copy is just gone. Like I'm not paying that price for that English copy.
So you just got the Sunbreon.
Yeah, I got the Sunbreon. What else did I pick? I picked up the the Typhlosion, and I picked up a few like little things here and there. The Marnie. What else did I pick up? Oh, I picked up this as well. The Jolteon.
Oh, nice.
Yep, I didn't needed that one. This is it's a good copy too. Very clean. And then Typhlosion Prime.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a Typhlosion day. But yeah, there was a lot of no one's even looking at vintage right now in America, so it's not. I always say it's not the same. This was the hot card of the.
Oh yeah. I remember you posted the video about that like 2 years ago as well.
Yeah, $5.
So
I have a few of them. Oh, nice.
So the Sunbreon is another play. Like another hot tip. This is the traditional Chinese Sunbreon. It's not out in Simplified Chinese yet. I would guess it's about a year from being released in Simplified Chinese, based on where they are in the Scarlet and Violet generation right now. But again, this came out in traditional Chinese like a month before it came out in English, and the price was around about $50 in traditional Chinese at the time. And I was like, I don't want to get it because I in the back of my mind, I was thinking the Moonbreon went crazy. And I was thinking like this has the potential to crazy, but I didn't want to get it because Crown Zenith pull rates were so good. And I was thinking that are the pull rates on Prismatic also going to be like Crown Zenith levels? So I avoided buying the traditional Chinese. I thought, okay, like unless this card pumps in English, it's not going to pump in Chinese. So the moment people started to leak videos of, it's like those Whatnot sellers, they got the products earlier and then they started selling it on Whatnot. The moment that I saw the pull rates in Prismatic Evolutions was trash, I picked up the card straight away for $50. And it was like almost immediately, once the card released in English, within like a week or something, the card doubled in price in traditional Chinese. So like the English market pulls up everything with it.
See, that's the play. That's the play. And
so
I knew it. I had a feeling and I knew it.
Yeah. So those are like that's like the category 2 investment. So I said like category 1 is like
Low
like
tier.
the low tier. And that's like the second category is like the high tier. So now like the category 3 investments that I would say that you need to look at are the exclusive cards. And it's kind of difficult now because everybody's expecting these simplified Chinese exclusive cards. It's difficult to time them, but if you look at the Captain Pikachu, which everybody was expecting, if you look at the Mew, if you look at the recent Evolutions gem set packs, they've all basically done the same thing where they've come out and then they've gone crazy and they haven't stopped going crazy. So like the thing that I was saying about where they'd go up and then they'd come back down and then eventually go up again, like it's kind of stopped. So I missed out on the recent ones, but like some of the older ones that I've got, the first one is this one. So this is like a huge card in Japanese. It never released in English. I think it's like an $800 card now in Japanese. This card released in a $6 deck box. In China, the deck box costs $6, and this card now is selling for $200 for a simplified Chinese on eBay. I'm like, oh, so that's another one. Like you just have to stay on top. Like cards that haven't released in English that are Japanese exclusive, they're gonna go crazy in Chinese if you look at them. So that's the one thing I'd preach. Like if you're interested in Chinese cards, keep on top of the release schedule, see what's available. Here's the next 3. So I've got these 3. So these 3 like go together and make like a picture. So I really like these ones. And these are competition trophy cards in China. And I made a video. So in Japanese, they released in Tag Team All Stars. And they were like pretty cheap when they first came out. And then the only one that really got expensive was the Green's Exploration, this one, because it's a female, so obviously it's more expensive. But when they first came out, they were very cheap because people just didn't know about them. And then when people realized that they existed, the price shot up to maybe, let's say, like the red and the blue, they shot up to like $30 or something like that on eBay. And then the greens exploration went to like $200 on eBay or something crazy like that. But I think so. Here's the interesting thing. You talk about like having influence. My YouTube channel is tiny. And I made a video about this one, blues exploration, blues tactics. When I made my video for this, it was $13 or something like that for this card on a Chinese TCG player, and it's a competition card. The only way to get these free cards, you've actually covered them before in your videos. The only way, but you didn't know the story behind them. So these cards were released in something called a battle party set. And most people, they hear battle party set and they just think, oh, it's just a regular set, but it's not. So the battle party set in China was a competition to encourage people to play the game. And it was held at LGSs all around China. And what they did was everybody who entered the competition would get this little silver promo pack. And inside the silver promo pack, you'd get a Sun and Moon EX card. And then the winners of the competition at each LGS would get a gold pack. And there are 48 cards inside this battle party set, which you should look into this for like one of your monkey watch videos.
I am,
Okay?
yeah.
So this is the set's called Battle Party. Just eBay it, Battle Party. And the only way to get these cards, the textured cards, was to win the competition at an LGS, and you got a little gold pack. And then inside the gold pack, so the Battle Party set has 48 cards. So card 1 to 24 with the inside the silver packs, like the participation packs, and they had like a regular EX card. And then cards 25 to 48 were textured cards, and you could only get them in the gold pack by winning the competition.
Dang.
So you had to win the competition, and then you'd have a 1 in 24 chance of like getting any of these cards. A 1 in because there were 24 cards. Another card that was inside the set was like the test tube Mewtwo. Yep, I got the test tube Mewtwo.
Yeah.
And then they have like, remember, I sent you the Professor Elm's lecture and like a customized. Oh no, that one. Eric's is in the customized slab. Yours isn't.
Oh yeah.
So that's another card from that set. The Professor Elm's lecture. Yep. So that's another card from that set. Oh, I know, that one's amazing.
Yeah, so shout out to you for sending me this. Love this card. Thank you so much.
So that's another card from that set. So you had to win the competition. And then you had, after winning the competition, you got one single gold pack. And inside that gold pack, you had a 1 in 24 chance of getting like any of the cards, or 24 different cards. And I made a YouTube short showing this card, and it was like a 60-second shot, and I explained like how you got this card. And I checked in my video, I say, yeah, the price is $13 in China. It's like the most undervalued card available to buy in the hobby right now.
Dang, yeah.
My video got 100 views.
What?
Because it was like my second or third video that I made. It got like 100 views.
Yeah.
And I checked the price like 3 days after I uploaded the video, and it was like $45. I was like, how did that happen? It's like somebody watched my video and then they went to eBay. Because there weren't that many of them. Like if you look at the TCG, Chinese TCG player equivalent, there were not many listed. But they were all like $13, $14, $15, like around that range. And I posted my video, and it's almost like somebody saw my video and they went to eBay and they bought it. And the funny thing about it was that this card, the Reds Challenge, was the more expensive card. This one was like a $25 card, and the price didn't change. But the Blues Tactics, the price changed from being like this was still a $20 card, and then the Blues Tactics was like the one that I made my video on. It jumps from in China, like the price jumps from being like a $13 card to a $40 card based on one YouTube shot that had 100 views. I was like, holy cow, how did that happen?
So can you imagine if like PokeRev or
right, I know. Like if you did that, that would have gone crazy. And then the other three are like the thumbnail to this video. So these are like the Grail cards of traditional Chinese. So it's like these are
Mm,
called they're called Dreams Come True. The set's called Dreams Come True. So it's got the Lily and the Guzma. Guzma got popular in a TCG Pocket recently.
yeah.
And then Acerola. So I bought all of these cards for less than 100 combined US dollars when they first came out several years ago. And they didn't release in English. And the Japanese, those three cards were trophy cards. And like the Lily is worth like, at one point, I remember the Lily sold in during the waifu boom, like in the Sword and Shield era, the Lily sold for like 200,000 US dollars or something like that in Japanese. And then that happening, like that caused that Lily card like I bought all three cards for less than $100, and now that Lily in that I just showed you in Chinese is like a $1,000 card now.
Oh,
So
fuck.
and then even this card, like the Ace of Roller, is like I think it's like a $500 card now.
Dude, I never
It's
even
crazy.
seen those arts.
Yeah, that right, because they never released in English, and then even
Yeah.
Japanese, they're
Yeah.
competition cards, so most people don't even know they exist.
Yeah, I'm gonna pump your bags, Jordan. I'm gonna make a video.
So like those cards, like the point that I'm making is, if you look carefully at the Chinese
Mhm.
market and you check PTCGCN, like if you
I'm
follow
I'm
that
I'm writing all
website,
this stuff down just like the audience.
keep updated,
PTCGCNI.
on that, and you'll see that the cards like you look at the exclusive cards, it's much more difficult to do. Like the entry point now is like so minimal. Like you have to be ready on release day, because like 1 week later everybody already knows about it. Like the moment that like the Westerners get them in hand and they're all over YouTube, it's done. Like, but if you're on top of the schedule and like day one before they've entered America yet, or entered the
Yeah.
UK before those PokeTubers have looked at them, then you have a chance of getting them cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
So
guys. I'm gonna buy these cards before I tell you guys, and then you guys can go buy them after.
so
Dude, a lot of people, they're like, they are just this is why also why I wanted to have you, because you're bringing so much interest. Like the moment I dove into the Chinese market, I was like, this market's really cool. But yeah, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
So I would say that there's still a chance. There's like a one card that I would recommend people look into right now, is a really dirt cheap card. And you already own this one. It's the Friends in Alola.
Oh yeah, you gifted me that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So this
Oh, thank you.
card is not released in English yet. It's exclusive in it was for the longest time exclusive in Japanese.
Mhm.
And at one point I remember Twice Baked Jake. I love that guy. I actually really like that guy. He gets a lot of hate, but
Yeah.
I really like Twice Baked Jake.
No, I like
Um,
him too. I like him too. it's just it's yeah. I like him too.
but he spent 10K on that card when it was at its all-time high,
Hmm.
and he didn't know that the card had been announced for release in Japanese yet, in Chinese. So the card got announced for release in Chinese, but at that time, PokeBeach wasn't covering the Chinese market.
Yeah.
And he posted a video. He's like, "Oh, I just bought this card for 10K." I was like, "Oh my god," because the card just got announced in traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, and then the card released in simplified Chinese, and it tanked. I think like the PSA 10 now is only worth like 3K or something
Oh my god, so
for the Japanese.
that's
But
why it's tough to take Twice Baked Jake's investing advice from time to time. I think he
you know,
just runs to the camera without doing some research, because some of his takes, I'm just like, Jake.
but he has, I don't know, he has been extremely successful. Like
Oh, for
he
sure.
makes like he recently did a video that I watched, and he owns up to his mistakes. Like
For sure. For sure.
with that Friends in a Lawler, he's like, yeah, I made a big mistake with that.
Yeah.
He recently did another one. Did you see the video he did where he bought out all of, during the illustration rare boom, he bought out all, what
No.
are the two deers called in black and white? That the
What
seasonal
we
deers.
oh
And it's got that connecting
yeah,
artwork.
Sawsbuck and oh, is that Sawsbuck?
I don't
And
know.
Deerling? Deerling and Sawsbuck?
Deerling is definitely one of them. But
Sawsbuck, yeah.
anyway, it's a pair of like matching IRs, and he made a video recently. I give him credit for this because he messed up big time.
Deerling.
Where
Mhm.
he did you see that? He bought out all of them when the IR boom was at its height, and then he submitted them. He bought them all out on TCG Player, and then he submitted the best ones to PSA to try and get sequential numbering.
Yeah.
And he didn't think about like the IR boom is going to drop. And he spent like a lot of money, and then by
Yeah.
the time he got the cards back from PSA, he like IRs had like dropped. So like the
Yeah.
few sequential tens that he got basically helped him break even on it. But I give
Oh,
him credit. I give him credit.
yeah.
He's got like this stack like this big now of like dealing cards that were
Yeah.
not PSA grade worthy.
How do you feel? How do you feel about those PokeTubers that do stuff like that? Like, I mean, Ken Dama kind of did that with the
Yeah.
Ghastly.
So I
So
actually
weird.
I like Dharma a lot,
Me
and I
too.
like Twice Baked Jake a lot. I
Yeah.
like both of those guys a lot, but if you want to experiment with that kind of stuff, I think it's fine. I
What's
honestly
small?
think it's kind of fine.
Yeah, the small
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
but I don't like the ones where people like go out and they say, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this card." Just a
Mhm.
heads up. Or they'll say, just a heads up, I just bought 100 copies of this card on TCG Player, so
Yeah.
expect the price to
To
rise a
move.
lot. And then people panic buy and then they go out and buy them. I don't like
Yeah.
that kind. So, like when Dama did the Ghastly one, I thought that's fine. Like he did that, he didn't tell anybody about it, and the card pumped, and then he came back down.
Mhm.
And Twice Big Jake as well. He did it. He didn't tell everybody, hey, just a heads up, I just bought out all of the dealing cards on TCG Player. He didn't say anything. He just did it. And then after he told everybody, and he was like, yeah, this was an experiment and it was a mistake. Dama did the same. He was like, yeah, so I bought all these ghastly cards. I pumped the market, but the market came back
Yeah.
down. So I
Yeah.
think that's kind of fine. But
Yeah.
I don't really like it when they say, here's a heads up, I just bought 100 copies or expect. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's for me as like I hope that there's just enough for all the collectors. I think that me and you are both collectors at heart first and not
Yeah,
investors. Because I
yeah,
think someone Callie Steve was saying that he said bro's in it for the money. Jordan is not in it for the money.
no,
Jordan is a collector.
definitely.
Definitely a
If he
collector.
thinks I'm in it for the money, go back to the start of the live. You know,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Callie
I
Steve.
don't own a single booster box,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
one. So I don't think I'm in it for the money.
But yeah,
I'm a collector. But anyway, back to the point of this card. I think that
oh yeah.
right now this card is extremely cheap. In Chinese, it's exclusive to Chinese and Japanese. There's a lot of them out there, so don't think of it as like a low print run or anything.
Mhm.
But I think that slowly they're going to be bought up by people who genuinely want the card.
Yeah.
And it's like the Lilies collection box. The Lilies, you also made a video on that, the Ultra Prism
Yep.
Lily. I
Yep.
remember
Ultra
like a
Prism
year
Lily.
ago you did.
Mhm.
The card dropped down to like $20 at one point in Simplified Chinese because it released it in a collection box.
Mhm.
And then very slowly the price raised, and I think it's like a $80 card or something like that now. So this is the hot tip. I
Yeah.
can't I don't want to say like invest in this card, but
There's
what
the
I'm
show.
saying is if you like this card, if you like it, it's exclusive to Simplified Chinese, exclusive to Japanese, and I think if you like the art, buy one copy for your collection, and I think within a year from now it'll be like significantly more. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
I
would
like.
not say buy more than one copy. I own one copy.
Yeah, because I remember when you sent me that copy, I looked it up the first time. I think it was like a
Oh,
on eBay. I think
yeah,
I looked it up, and it was like I
it
think it
was
was like a
more than $100 on eBay.
bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But when you first sent it, I believe me and Eric looked it up, and it was like $20-ish,
Okay.
something around there.
Yeah.
And then we looked it up like maybe 3 months. It was like over
Oh,
$100.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it went up like at least $80. I remember me
Yeah.
and Eric were like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Oh,
definitely
here's a hot tip.
yeah.
So this hasn't reached the Western market yet, but it will do. Behind your head, you have a sealed Pikachu in Taiwan. It's in like a pink pack.
Oh, the one that
Pikachu in
you
Taipei.
yeah. Jordan also
Yeah,
sent me
this one.
Jordan also sent me this.
So this card, I bought it. I'm not even going to get into how much I bought. I don't want to sound like I'm shilling. But right now, I own. I promise you, I own one card. Any of these cards that I showed you, I only own one copy. This one, I only own one copy. But right now, this card just started to pump. in Taiwan because the supply is like over here now. Like all of the cards have already left Taiwan, and people have started to realize that there's none left here anymore. And then the card is pumped now to the price. So traditionally, it's always been cheaper, like much cheaper than what it sells for on eBay. But now it's more expensive in Taiwan than it sells for on eBay, which says like in the future, the Pikachu in Taipei is going to be very soon. Very soon, it will increase in value. Like in the Western world, like the price is going to start to increase because the supply is dried up here. When the price is more expensive for a card in Taiwan for a traditional Chinese card, than it is in the States, then you know, like, okay, then the States will follow soon.
We'll follow, yeah. There was because before we get to Jaime Andres's comment on the screen, someone asked, what was the difference of? Let me find that. I had it up. The difference, or were the prices of? What was it? The prices of? Oh my gosh! Or do you want? Or should we let's just tackle this one while I find that channel?
So
Or the other
how
comment?
or where do you buy those singles? Okay, yeah. So if you missed the start of the chat, I'm actually located in Taiwan. So that's where I have like access to those cards. So because I'm in Taiwan, I have access to like the mainland China equivalent of TCG Player. It's an app. It's called TCG Society. It's only on the Chinese app stores because it doesn't have an English option, so they don't put it on the English app stores. But that's where I buy my simplified Chinese cards. I used to have to get a middleman because they didn't used to ship to Taiwan. But for me, buying simplified Chinese cards is like a Canadian buying English cards from like eBay US or something like that. And then traditional Chinese is what I have direct access to.
Okay.
But again, like if you go back to like the first 30 minutes or so of the chat, like I explained how to look up prices on a website called Shopee.
And then just make them a deal on eBay, and then hopefully it always goes through. And then this one right here, I found it. It says, "Are the price of simplified Chinese cards cheaper in China than on eBay?"
Much cheaper. So like I said before, typically for the lower end cards, they do a 100% markup. And then for the more expensive cards, they'll typically do like a $50 markup or something like that. If it's like a Giratina or a Lugia or a Moonbjorn. No, the Moonbjorn is like way more. But like it's like the higher end you go, like the bigger the markup is. Yeah.
Very
In
interesting.
dollar. Yeah.
Maybe I'll start throwing out some offers at a lot of these sellers and see.
So any time, Henry, that you want to know like a price, just send me a message and I'll just screenshot it to you. I'll just like screenshot like the TCG player, like the Chinese TCG player, and then anybody else like I'm
gonna link all your stuff. I'm gonna pin the comment. So guys, Jordan is dropping alpha. Make sure to at least give him a sub, please.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sub farm because like
no, dude. That's a part of the game. That's
but
all
anybody like who wants to, if they want to know the price, then just leave a comment and I'll just like reply immediately with the price in China, and then you can do like a plus 30% for eBay prices.
No, dude, sub farm all day on this channel. That's what we're doing. That's what we're here for. We're here to help each other grow.
Well, Henry, I'm gonna meet up with some friends for lunch, so I've got like 20 minutes left.
Perfect. Yeah, let's just tackle some of these questions then. Dune Beast asks, "Where's a legit place to buy Chinese singles where you don't get scammed easily, or is it fakes?" I know this is a concern to a lot of people, so I feel like I had to pull this one up.
Yeah. So there is a lot of shady stuff that goes down in China. I think the safest place, honestly, as bad as it sounds, the safest place is actually eBay.
Okay.
Unless you've got somebody like PokeNE. Like PokeNE also stocks Chinese cards, so like there's not going to be anybody safer than PokeNE. But if you want to buy them like for the cheapest possible price, it is eBay. And eBay is not that hard to like really not get scammed on eBay. I've never once been scammed on eBay in my entire life. I bought a lot of things off there. You just have to look at seller feedback, look at their like account creation data, that kind of stuff. And like honestly, eBay is the best place for Westerners to buy Chinese cards.
Perfect. And then Armand C said, "The good thing about Simplified is that they have Pokemon logos, so can't really be fake since that has mad punishments in China."
Yeah, so before I explain the difference between simplified and traditional Chinese cards,
Mhm.
I missed that point out. So traditional Chinese cards don't have the little Pokemon logo, but if you
Mm,
have, I'm not going to be able to show it on camera. I'm just checking where it is. It's on the bottom left corner. So if you ever look at a simplified Chinese card and you look at the bottom left corner of a card, you'll see a little Pokemon holographic logo. And the reason for that is because piracy is so rife in China that they
mm,
had to put that there to like protect the customers. Whereas in Taiwan, like the government don't allow that. Like they'll crack down on any kind of fake cards or whatever, so they don't put the little Pokemon logo on the traditional Chinese cards. So that's another thing. I've had commenters on my channel ask me, they're like, "Oh, I bought this Chinese card, but it doesn't have the Pokemon logo. Is it fake?" And
yeah.
then I have to explain like it could be traditional Chinese.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, Jaime Andres, I will be listing Jordan's YouTube channel in the thing in the description. We were kind of trying to fix audio issues prior, but I will list all that stuff. But
Yeah, sorry
so
about that.
no, you're good, bro. Don had a really good question as well. This is kind of where my head's at. Is it smart to start collecting Chinese booster boxes, but of the older sets? You don't think so?
No, no, no. I don't think so.
Ah,
I don't think so.
you're crushing my
So
dreams, Jordan.
there are very few sets which I would recommend.
Hmm.
So right now, tag team is gone in simplified Chinese. I was looking at the prices this morning because I figured the question might come up. A tag team booster box in simplified Chinese, the cheapest one is 1,000 RMB, which
Oh,
would be 140 US dollars.
okay.
So it's like what? It's like 6 times the retail price, and
Mm,
that's in China. So the other thing is if you don't get your booster box from a credible person like Pokey, I can almost guarantee I would never buy a Chinese booster box of a tag team era, for example, from eBay. I would say only buy Chinese booster boxes from eBay if it's the current released set.
mm,
Once a set's 6 months old, don't do it because uh, the chance of it being a resale is very high. And people seem to think like now that those simplified Chinese, so starting with 9 colors gathering, the set you've got behind you, they
mhm,
started to put the packs inside blisters. So they put the packs inside blisters and then they put the blisters inside the booster box. That's why the booster boxes are so enormous.
mhm,
Um, but it's still the same. Like people can open a booster box and keep opening the packs until they find the hit. And then once they found the hit, they've got like 10 packs left. Okay, put it back into the box, open another box, find the hit, 10 packs left, put them together, reseal the booster box.
uh,
So like I would not recommend buying. So like right now, I would say only buy like the current sets. Don't go back. I
yeah,
wouldn't say like when you bought your 9 colors gathering, I think that was a safe time to buy. I
mhm,
don't think it's a safe time to buy 9 colors gathering now from anybody other than Pokey. Well, I say
uh,
Pokey. He's the only guy that I know because he's the only one with like a YouTube following.
mhm.
But I like that guy is legit. He buys his boxes from credible sources. So I wouldn't recommend buying a booster box from eBay.
Okay. Yeah, because I like I said, I've been looking back at all the sets in Chinese, in Thai, in whatever other languages. I was like, how
Yeah.
safe is it for me to spend
Okay.
like $300,
Yeah.
just because I really want the box?
Yeah.
Like,
So here's something that's interesting now. You know how Japan prints traditional Chinese?
mhm,
Do you know how the English Pokemon cards have the logo,
mhm.
right? Wait, do that? Yeah, they got the Pokeballs all over it, right? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I should go to get a box, but it's upstairs. I've got a box of Team Rocket, Glory of
Uh-huh.
Team Rocket in traditional Chinese, and it's got Pokeballs on it. It's the first set that they did it with.
Oh, okay. So that gives you
So
an extra bit
I'm
of
guessing that they're gonna start to do it with Japanese soon. Because
mm,
a lot of the time they do these trials with traditional Chinese first, and then they come into Japanese. So I'm guessing like soon. I don't know. It's just like another way of authentication because it's
yeah.
very difficult for the people to reseal with those like Pokeball things because they always get stretched or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah,
So
it's tough. It's tough because I wanna have some of those like because I'm the type of collector where I want things that something
Yeah.
are people that really don't have. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of people don't have a lot of these different languages. I think it'd be really
Yeah.
cool. But like, if you're saying to stay away, then I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna have to stay away.
You've got to get it at the right point. And then if you don't
Yeah.
get it at the right point, I'd avoid it. So like your 9 colors Gavin, you got that. It's a beautiful box. Both of them are
Mhm.
beautiful boxes. But like never go back and buy 9 colors Gavin again unless it's from like Pokemon
Really,
or something.
yeah, real credible. Some Danny Phantom or
Any
something like
fancy
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don said, I think it's possible to still buy a legit older Chinese set like AC2A. AC2A. What is
It is possible, but it's
Mhm.
also highly possible you'll get scammed. And
Yeah.
are you willing to are you willing to take the risk?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. So at the start of the stream, I mentioned like there's a guy on eBay, and he was my middleman in China. I didn't buy from him through eBay, but he does have an the TCG Society app that I told you about, they
Mhm.
didn't used to ship to Taiwan. They only started to ship to Taiwan about a year ago. So when I wanted Simplified Chinese, if my other friend who like travels between Taiwan and China, if he wasn't in China on business at that time, I'd go to this guy. He's called Card Army
Oh,
on
Card Army.
eBay,
Yep. Yep.
and
I'll write that down too.
I think that he will be like he's never done me bad before. And I dealt with him outside of eBay. I dealt with him through WhatsApp. I would never recommend you deal with him through WhatsApp. Never. Don't do it. That's what I did. And every time I did it, I was always like scared of like this guy could scam me like so easily right now.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say just pay the extra 15% for the eBay fees.
Mhm.
Don't deal with him through WhatsApp. But he was like my middle guy. And he's never scammed me. He's like, so if you buy like a sealed product from him, for example, then I think like you'd be pretty safe.
Pretty good. Okay, cool. OG Weedle Farmer. Oh, what's up, OG? Appreciate you being in this one. Simplified Chinese is from Japan, correct?
Yeah, correct. So
Yes.
same
Yep.
texturing, just different text.
Same texturing. Yeah, man, it's hard for me not to FOMO into those older sets because the booster boxes are
Yeah, they
so
do look
cool.
nice, and
It's really
they're so
cool.
unique as well. It's like it just looks good to have that on your
Yeah.
shelf, and be like
Oh
that's
yeah.
something that nobody else has seen before. Like,
That's what
what
I'm
is that?
saying. That's what I'm saying. So if I would have to, what city would I have to fly to? Because I'm crazy. I will go
Yeah.
to these cities in China to go grab these booster boxes. What
No, you can
city?
go to any major city, like
And
Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, like any
okay,
major city, you'll be able to
okay.
find them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a search of what city I need to go to get these booster boxes because I'm itching.
But the like I said, the old Sun and Moon booster boxes, even they're starting to like creep up in price now. So
Yeah.
I like I said, my finger with Chinese cards is never more than $100.
Yeah, I
Anything.
remember you. I remember you telling me that you're like
Yeah, I
every
told you that a
time I'm.
long time ago.
Yeah, it's you're preaching in the comments because sometimes I'm like ready to get trigger happy on those ARs, and you're like, "Don't do it, don't do it." Don said she'll take the risk.
Yeah,
I'm with you,
good luck.
Don. I'm with you, Don. I'm like
Well,
so,
the other thing is, if you're not going to open the booster box, it doesn't really matter.
exactly. Yeah,
The feeling's always going to be there. Like, okay, is it a resale? It might be a resale, but it looks perfect, and it's
the
sitting on
boxes.
my shelf, and
Yeah,
that's okay. That's good enough.
that's true. That's true.
One hundred
And
and $40. I own a tag team booster box.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. All right, guys. Any last questions before we got for Jordan has to go? And this is thank you so much for your time. I
No, thank you,
greatly
man.
appreciate it.
Like I said at the start, I should thank you, man, because I have been like a long time subscriber to yours now, maybe almost 3 years, I guess.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell you the amount of hours that of content that I've watched of yours.
Dang.
Like commutes to work. I must have. I was thinking about it the other day. You're on like 84 episodes of the podcast, right?
Yeah. 86. Yeah.
86 episodes. So
Yeah.
I was thinking about it the other day. Let's say that Eric spends 50% of the time talking. I
Yeah.
must have. I've spent like 2 days of my life listening to Eric. Like a combined 2 days of my life listening to Eric. That's
That's
so
wild.
like you make all of the different videos,
Yeah.
and when you first started out, there was like a 1.5, like a 1.5 year stretch where I watched every one of your videos, and I liked and commented on every one of your videos for like the
Yeah.
first year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw like the amount of work that you were putting in,
Oh
uploading
yeah.
like almost daily, and you were
Hmm.
getting like 17 or 20 or 30 views per video. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's working so hard and
Yeah.
not getting any views. So like you must have thought at that point that I was like some kind of like scary stalker or
No,
something.
no, no, not at all. No.
No. But I was like, really, there was like a 1.5 year stretch where I was like commenting on it. Like
Yeah.
now, like congratulations on the recent success. I mean,
Thank you, dude. Yeah.
like over the past few months, I've noticed your like even recently your videos have been getting so many comments. Because you do the thing where you respond to every comment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that must take a lot of time because
Oh yeah.
when by the time I got to the video of you and Jake the
Hmm.
other day, it was already like 20 comments, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's gonna take a lot of time to like read and then like put thoughtful replies to them.
Yeah. No, dude, like again, I'm thanking you because it was subscribers like you that kept me going. Like in
Mm,
the beginning it was just fun. It was fun because ignorance was bliss. And the more I got into this hobby, the more I got like more motivation. And now I'm uploading 2 videos a day.
yeah, yeah.
And because I'm just having that much fun. Like there's just so much both negative and positive. But yeah,
Do you
dude,
want to know
thanks.
the
What were you saying?
reason why like I originally like got hooked
Yep.
to your channel?
Oh yeah, I was
So
just about to ask that. Yep.
okay, so I mentioned earlier the first ever video I watched of yours was the Crown Zenith opening.
Yeah,
And how did I even find your channel? Like that's the mind blowing thing. You had like you had like less than 100 subscribers and your
yeah.
views were like 20 per video or something.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was because the Sword and Shield era had like such terrible pull rates. And then
Hmm.
Crown Zenith released and it had like these incredible pull rates. And I was like obsessed with watching videos. And
Yeah, yeah.
believe it or not, I don't watch that much Pokemon YouTube. So like
Mm.
earlier when you mentioned some YouTubers, I had no idea who they were.
Oh, okay.
But at that point, I was kind of obsessed with watching Crown Zenith openings because they're
Yeah.
so fun to watch. Like, you're just constant hits.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was watching like every Crown Zenith opening, and I came across yours. And at the start of the video, I remember you said, "So I don't know if you guys know this, but there's this precious collector's box that recently released in Japan. It's got this really cool Pikachu card, and I really want this Pikachu card." And it's in the Crown Zenith set. I know the Japanese one is like out of my price range, so I really hope that I
Yeah,
pull
yeah.
the Pikachu. And like you set it up at the like I'm paraphrasing. You set it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
like that at the start of the video, and then you were like halfway through like a collection box or something, and you pulled the
Yep.
Pikachu, and then
Yeah.
you went like this. You're like, ah, oh, yes. Like I was like, oh my god, that's so much different than every other PokeTuber where they like do the
Yeah.
screams and the yelling and everything like that. And like you put the, I was like, oh man, I'm so happy for you. Like at that
A
moment,
sigh of
and then
relief.
and then the other thing was like you commented, you were like, oh, I feel like I'm on a good run. Like I've got this other Crown Zenith collection box, but I don't think I should be dropping this much video money on one video, but
Yeah.
I'm on a good run, so I'm going to open it. And
Yeah.
then you pulled out this other Crown Zenith collection box, and then you're like, this was going to be for my sealed collection, but
I was gonna
I'm feeling
run.
so lucky right now. And then you pulled the gold, one of the gold cards. Which one do you
I
have?
pulled
I
the
can't
the
remember.
gold Arceus, right?
The
Was
gold
it?
Arceus.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the same booster box, you also put the Iridir as well. And like
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
you put the gold, you put the gold Arceus, and you're like, oh, the
First pack.
same reaction.
First pack.
Yeah, like extreme happiness, but no
Yeah.
like over the top yelling or anything. And
Yeah.
then you put the Irida, and I remember I've got like a really freakish like memory about this
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But you put the Irida, and you're like, oh, I just bought this car from my LGS,
Yeah.
and then you're like, okay, I guess I can trade one in for something else. I was like,
Yep.
man, this guy, the whole point where you were like diving into that second boost collection box was so relatable. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, a guy who understands the value of a dollar and he's not overreacting to the
Yeah.
cards that he's pulling.
That was a
I was
lot of
like, okay,
people.
this is my guy.
Yeah, that was a lot of people that said the same thing. They're like, dude, you're like appreciating the common cards. I wasn't
Mm,
just blazing through every single card. A lot of people said the same thing. They're like, I like how you like you love the art. You can tell how much you love Pokemon. And I'm glad that that portrayed through the camera.
yeah.
Because in the beginning I had no idea what I was doing. I was just turning on the camera and being like, well, I'm gonna open this stuff anyway, so might as well do it with some friends, I guess. But yeah, that was cool, dude. Thanks again. Thank you for
Yep.
day
No
one.
worries. Thanks for having me.
But yeah, again, guys, I'm gonna leave Jordan's stuff in the description down below. Again, thank you, Jordan, for your time. 2.5 hours, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Yeah. All right, guys. Peace out. Thank you again.
Yep.